A little bit of volatility just coming in this morning. Futures in positive territory here, trying to head back to session highs right now. We are expecting a pre-release here of Fed Chair Powell's testimony and speech coming up at 8:30. We'll get the speech, the written portion, then at 10 o'clock he'll be in Washington. So lots to look forward to this morning as far as what is to come. We did get the ADP employment change number there for February at 8:15 this morning. Came out a little bit higher, 107. Versus 90 expected there. So market back to the upside right now. I'll sift through some of these comments, but a little bit of volatility to start things off. Ton of things moving around as far as individual names are concerned. Yeah, there's Coinbase, all the crypto-related stocks back higher, 4.2%. Right now for crypto. Bitcoin back to the upside in a pretty big way here this morning as well. We'll touch on that coming up. Tesla back to the downside. Was a little bit higher to start things off. We have earnings to get through as well. It is Wednesday, March 6, 2024. TraderTv.live starts now. Yeah, we're just sifting through some of these comments. Again, we got the prepared remarks from Fed Chair Powell, the pre-release of the speech itself there at 8:30. It doesn't appear as if there's anything in here that I'm seeing anyways, that we haven't heard in the past. So again, Fed Chair Powell is set to begin 2 days of testimony in Washington coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. As I was mentioning yesterday, there's typically opening remarks that take better part of an hour, so nothing really happens until 11 o'clock or even beyond that at this point. Here it is. This is a 15-minute chart of Bitcoin right now. So we made the all-time high yesterday, and then it was just straight downside back to middle of the range right now, trying to hold on to 66,000 once again this morning. So saw Coinbase there up 4%, a lot of the crypto stocks benefiting here. Palantir to the upside this morning on a new contract once again as well. Another government contract, Brendo, this time with the Army. It's entitled Titan, and it's to the tune of about $178 million. They had actually spent, or they actually been granted about $35 million back in 2022 to make the prototype here, and this is the culmination of that, Brendo. So good look for them, up nicely on the day. Yeah, pretty dovish comments actually. I'm just seeing from Powell here. Yeah. Saying while inflation is still above 2%, it has eased substantially. Again, nothing we don't know. Economy has made considerable progress over the past years, or over the past year on dual mandate. Yeah, I mean, nothing we haven't heard before, but we'll see coming up at 10 o'clock, guys, when he takes to the microphone today.
Yeah, when Papa hits the stand, we'll see what happens. But you know, like you just got the text, and there's nothing in there that I think, as you said, there's nothing that's unexpected. That can be a good thing, but look, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There's a lot to get to this morning. Palantir with the contract. Market rejected 18.1, which is turning into a bit of a oddly key level. I'm sure Sharif will talk about that, but I was just looking at that 18.1. Crowdstrikes again, which is insane. 22% to the upside. JD.com announced a buyback on their earnings. They're up double digits. They're going to be on watch. Apple's actually up this morning. Hey, look at that. I mean, Apple looking pretty decent. Can it actually break this trend? Who knows? Tesla still under some pressure. We're going to be looking at that to the south side. I think you want to stick to your game plan on any day where the Fed is talking. You're going to keep your ear to the ground. We'll have anything. If anything pertinent comes, we'll definitely have it for you guys live, and then we'll see the live reaction. So, you know, I don't want to change approach too much on a day like today. If anything, you just want to have a bit of a hyper focus and you know, make sure that you have, you know, make sure your stops are set, things along those lines. But I think you stick to the plan. I like the chip names today. I will be looking a little bit at some Palo Alto and crypto. There was a double top at 60, a bit of a lower high that got put in, this double top in front of it. It's more like 67.5. I know Brennan was mentioning that. But any run back at that 69,000, keep your eyes on that bad boy. If it wicks it again, that's a decent reversal chance. It was a huge wick and then fade off to 69,000 the first time. If it gets up there again, it's tradable in both directions, whether you want to trade it with an equity or just go into an ETF like an IBIT. Cannot fail to miss that. How many times will you see an all-time high get wicked like that and a trend down? Oh, goodness. And we can short the ETFs. We can't short here real trading BTC. We can short the ETFs, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just writing the sticky note right now. We're already in Palantir. Let's see if it can get back up to the upside here. We're 15 cents in the money right now. Again, as Sharif mentioned, we knew this was the stock, right? I mean, this was a good takedown there. Now you're trying to break out through 52-week highs. One more time, it's already through it. Its 52-week high was 25.63. Now you're at 25.88. We punched long just basically when we decided to. I mean, that was 67. What am I long? 70s. Just decided, like, you know what? It's not going to dip in. I was writing down here on the sticky note $25, but that's when we were down into here. We didn't get it. Didn't feel that good about it. Should have got it like here around 30s, 40s. Finally got it as we break higher. We're sitting at 97, the high of the day. Take a piece out of Palantir. But yes, that's right, Darwin. Palantir is the chosen one. It's been like that for a couple years. Let's see if it can get up to the upside now with PLTR.
Yeah, another nice contract for Palantir this morning. We'll keep an eye on how it is moving here. Here is, if you haven't looked yet today, here's Bitcoin. So we get the all-time high. It was about 10 o'clock, 10:30, I guess, yesterday, and then just got absolutely smoked down through 60,000. Back to 66,300 currently here, back to the upside for BTC. So yeah, all of these looking pretty good here this morning. Coinbase not really doing much, 226 being held as support right now, but Mara's back higher again. I saw basically the entire list looking good.
The whole list, Brendo. Everything's up on my crypto watch list. Like Brendo and I were talking about off camera yesterday, I think this is an entirely different environment that Bitcoin is making all-time highs at. You don't have stimulus checks coming like you did in 2021, where you had everybody and their mother's cousin throwing money into the market. This is done organically. Yes, it is because big money is purchasing these to offset the purchases into ETF, but that's what happens in every industry where there's an ETF. So there's no change there. I think this is a very interesting trend here, Brendo, and I think higher.
A lot of the big tech names, on the other hand, still kind of struggling, as we were mentioning yesterday, a little bit of relative weakness coming back into play. Tesla basically holding on to the bottom end of what happened yesterday on that arson note over in Berlin. I mean, Apple, Microsoft, guys, nothing terribly exciting so far.
Well, if you like Tesla at $175, it can be exciting, because that's the little quadrant. It's not really a quadrant, but that's the area that we're headed to right now. So Tesla, for multiple days in a row, has been one of the weakest stocks in the market, large cap stocks in the market. Broke down. All you've got left is the February bottom, and then from there, trend bottoms. I'm just going to zoom it out here. I still think this is trending and wants somewhere down in that 150. And something Sharif and I were talking about, sometimes you can have a trend line, and what I love about it is the split high. So immediately you had the split, and then the top, if you were to draw the top of that trend line, it actually ends up intersecting with the bottom of the current trend. So it's like the resistance after the split turns into the support on a downward channel. So if we get to 150, in the long term, I'm a buyer down there. I think you can get there. At this point, it's 175 is like your Alamo here on Tesla. It wasn't quite as much acceleration to the downside as it was on Monday. That said, we've put in this range once, and can it bounce off 178? I think it's a short till it's not. I look at the 82 where we closed. Well, 81 was where we closed, but 82 was a top in the afternoon, and I'm thinking fades into there. The EVs have been under pressure.
Here.
This has been very much everything but EV rally. And until proven otherwise, I think you want to stick to that notion. The trend is your friend here.
Yeah, we have Tesla written down here as it's just a small one. I'm actually looking at it at 177, but I don't think this is a very good. I'm just working on the sticky note right now. I'm not actually sure this is a very good long at all in a long-term portfolio or anything right here, right now. I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, it was very, very easy, and it was very, very smart to be able to make money in this market in the last couple years. Just get long and don't worry about it. At some point, the market's going to have to give something back, And Tesla's already, we talked about this yesterday when as far as, can show you the tweet, but as far as the Mag 7 names are concerned, this name's, you know, its 52-week high on Tesla was 299, 52-week low 150. So we're much closer to one of them than the other. That's not similar of any major tech name right now. You know, even Intel's bottom's 25 or something, and it's at 45. You know, let's wait to see what happens with Tesla here, but I'm a buyer for the day trade. The market's up today. This is down. I feel like if it gets hit down just a little bit, then we can take a long. But I'm not super convinced about this. You know the name that I am convinced with? There's Palantir, just broke $26 right there, and we're long 25.70 right here. So we take a piece out where we said we would at 25.97. And now, as Russ Wilson won't be doing with the Denver Broncos, we ride. And by the way, I never collected any stimulus checks there
We
when
didn't get any
crypto
stimulus
was going nuts.
You still spent on it. You still bought crypto
I still
anyway.
put my hard-earned money into crypto and lost
But
it all.
it does matter.
And made it all back.
No, but it does matter. Like at the end of the day, like I like the fact that you're getting. Like, look, when everyone's getting extra cash that is temporary, and a lot of it's finding its way into the market, it creates a different environment of buying than when you have like normal savings going into the market.
Now it's an asset class.
Yeah, like it's so different, and it's so much more. To me, it's a lot more bullish when buyers are spending like their hard-earned, you know, paychecks and their savings, as opposed to, well, if I give everyone $1,000 and it ends up going into crypto, sure, that's great, but it's not the same thing as a more sustainable.
13 years ago, Bitcoin was $1. $66,000.
Not bad. That's all right. I mean, that's not a bad ROI.
It's
a decent return on your investment. It's not bad.
Kind of like NVIDIA. All right, back over to the desk.
Trading's easy when you look.
It's the way I feel, Brendo.
Let's talk about Abercrombie here, down 1.5%. Just pretty crazy in the pre-market here, coming off earnings for Abercrombie. Sales were above estimates, adjusted earnings exceeding expectations, forecast strong revenue as well. Why is this thing down 1.5%?
I don't know. Maybe the street was expecting better than what they did, guys. Higher prices, lower raw material costs. So margins expanding big, beating on the top and bottom line, growing their net income on the year by 21%, growing revenue by about, they grew net income by about 13%. They grew revenue by about 21%. They're looking for low double-digit increases for the guide for next quarter with respect to revenue. So it's a beat on the top and bottom line. I don't really know why it's down, Brendo, but
Daily chart is insane on this. If you're wondering, yes, we are talking about Abercrombie and Fitch. $60 in October, topped out above 145 yesterday.
Wow.
I didn't.
Down because, look, everyone always asks questions like, why is the stock up or why is the stock down? If the earnings were good and the stock is down, it's because that's what the market is pricing based on where the stock is. Like, obviously,
I love that.
What do you have to do? What do you have to do in terms of a report when something has been this parabolic? It just has to be so perfect. So it felt a lot like we said this in the afternoon show. Both of us were saying in the afternoon show, and probably a million other people as well, that it was sort of destined, almost like doomed for some kind of a failure here because of how big the run-up has been and so surprising. That said, the spread has been a little bit tricky. The volume's all over the place. This went back and forth from 145 to 126. These are not dark pool prints. They really did do this. Back up to 144, back down into the 120s, and it's now up to 137. Yeah, I mean, good luck with that. I do think if it breaks out today, that would be a little bit surprising to me, just given how far it's rallied. So it is worth a watch up at some of those highs to see if there isn't some kind of a pullback. It's not a gigantic short name. There is a decent short interest. But there's no such thing as good or bad earnings. There's just earnings, and the market does whatever the heck it wants to do with it. This has been an absolute runner. Would have been tough for it to take out those tops in any case.
Good job, everybody. By the way, I just want everybody to note that yesterday we had Palantir long $23. This is yesterday's sticky note. So up to $26 here today. Good one. Look, I'm not interested in Abercrombie. It came out. It's not moving as much as it was supposed to. So for me, it's a hard pass. On the sticky note is Amazon. This was again one of the top stocks here yesterday. And I just want to do the same thing again. And that is that we bought dips into 174. So yesterday I wrote down 174 long when it was up here at 177. It dips right into 174, bounces the first time, bounces up to 175, bounces again into 174, hits 174.70. Then we take it and it gets down to 173.50. So now today we can actually take more shares at 174 now because we know that there's a bottom down here at 173.50, 173.30. So if this wants to get a move down to the downside, and as far as retail is concerned, we're just going to load up on Amazon. So watch out for 174 coming on Mr. Bezos's money pit, that is Amazon.
He had taken over number one.
Yes, by like $1 billion.
The world's richest list once again.
They're using his Blue Origin spaceship in case the SpaceX one keeps blowing up, right? So they want to have a backup. So they're using the Blue Origin one as a backup now.
Minor details.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's this little AI, on that note, AISP flying around again. I saw a few people talking about that. I was just noting as well, there was a move actually on Treasury yields downside at 8:30 when we got those comments from Fed Chair Powell. We're right back up though, 4.3 right now in the 30-year. So a little bit of volatility on the Treasury markets this morning. The dollar as well bouncing around here on that. Any thoughts here for AISP?
It's a good look, Brendo. A multi-day runner. This bad boy was running yesterday. We looked at it in the midday show. Keep your eye on it. Made a new high today, about that 880 level. It's above yesterday's high. It's made a definable pre-market high off which we can work after the bell. So I'll be looking to see if this one can take that 875, 880 level after 9:30.
Yeah, if you missed it yesterday, Palantir not the only one getting government contracts. This was yesterday, so the DOJ teaming up with Airship AI Holdings.
Yeah, the rocket ship or the airship to the upside. This one, we always talk about floats being a bit of a catalyst. 23 mil float is a bit of the story here. It's already done, some of this is going to be dark pools, but it's already done over 10 million shares in the pre-market and big volume yesterday as well. So I think this one has a decent chance today. It's just so extended. This is what usually like concerns you. Is you were a long consolidation breakout, and it hasn't really had any kind of a big profit take pullback on open. So I would be a little bit worried about that. Usually look at previous closes, so like the $6 level to the $5 level, like where you had that aftermarket push. That's where it would need to hold on to. So I'd be a little bit concerned with this, especially if the market goes bullish through that 18.1 on the Nasdaq. Like if NVIDIAs of the world and the SMCIs and all the big guns reverse, let's say Apple gets involved today, then I would be worried about some of these runners might have a little bit less legs because there would be fewer eyeballs on them. So I'd be a little bit worried about that. And when I keep saying 18.1, I haven't showed it to you guys. The 18.1 level on the Nasdaq was yesterday it was the overnight bottom. We had dipped off of it and then broke down in a big way through that 18.1 level. Then you flash back to on Friday, we broke out at the open from 18.1. You go back to the week before that and you had 18.1 as resistance. So this is turning into a bit of a key level. If we're taking this out on Powell, I'm guessing that I don't want to be fighting anything to the south side if we're taking this out right away.
Yeah, the Nasdaq, I mean, just a 30-minute chart here. I have a couple, the sticky note is now out. I have a couple longs and a couple short ideas on here. So we're just going to have to wait because this 18.120, that's going to be something, and that's only 40 handles away. So that's probably going to break. Goes back here to the 12th, which isn't that long ago. Well, I guess now it's 3 weeks ago, but just goes back in. You have another top right there that we sort of topped out at 18.150. So yeah, I feel like we test into this area, we hold it, then I do think we get back to highs. You know, we are not too far away right now, above the 200 period right now, and a really nice bounce off some support yesterday. So into 17.8, 17.9. So yeah, I'm pretty healthy where we are right now with this market, and I feel that, you know, if anybody's nervous, I feel like this is a good trimming spot, somewhere in the middle. We're through earnings. You know, people say sell in May and go away. We're not too far away from that. But you know, summertime could be a little slower. We'll expect some rate cuts potentially in the summer. But yeah, for right now, crypto's moving. Nasdaq's up another 1%, and you know, the market's up 16 of the last 18 weeks or something. So feels like a little frothy to me. But for today, we've got some good trade ideas. We're already in Palantir, and we've got some crypto on our mind. 66.2, Mara could be. Oh, I meant to ask you that about that, Sharif, because I know you were
having
into
that discussion.
I know you're into Mara, and we were talking about it yesterday, and you had left in the afternoon. What are you still in it? Is there an average in here? Because it's right at the 50 period, and I actually think that with crypto going where it is right now and bouncing back upside, Mara down here could be. We talk about trying to buy names near support. This is a good level, I think, right? Like right into here. So I don't know. With Bitcoin becoming more interesting and more talked about, a name like Mara, this could be an interesting level. So we got a question yesterday in the afternoon about Mara, and it just reminded us about Sharif, and we'd say that we'd ask. So Sharif, still in Mara, not averaging in. Any thoughts?
Yes, Sean, still in. Disappointed, though, that it did break that key level of support at 23. It's right back above it. The reason I was saying 23, Sean, I don't know if you've noticed, but between February 20th to around February 26th, we really baselined around 23. We broke that level of support. I didn't like that. I've added at 25. My cost basis is 26.5. I'm holding this till after the halving event. I think that we're selling off in anticipation of the halving event. We'll see.
Just a heads up on Microsoft, if anybody's watching it, there was a little bit of volume there. There was a note from CNBC and an interview apparently with a Microsoft engineer. So they just put out a note suggesting some not positive things about their AI suite of tools. So it did move down and up, right back to basically where it was though for Microsoft. Let's get a check of some upgrades and downgrades for you. Dara has those over at the screen.
Target here getting an upgrade from Deutsche Bank after its earnings yesterday morning. GitLab, another post-earnings move, trading up almost 3% after an upgrade from Wolfe Research. Argus raising the price target for Super Micro here all the way up to $13.50. So SMCI getting another reason to maybe move to the upside here. United Healthcare getting an upgrade as well here from Barclays. NEO getting a downgrade from CLSA after its earnings earlier this week. ChargePoint downgraded here, down about 5% right now after this downgrade from RBC Capital Markets. BOVESPA Securities downgrading Old Dominion Freight. And last but not least, SolarWinds getting a downgrade from Truist here to kick off the morning, guys.
I missed who I was gonna trash talk for downgraded NEO. I didn't see. It doesn't really matter who gave the downgrade. But come on, man, NEO finally had a good day, and then you slap the downgrade on them. It's down 2.5% here. But this was, I'd say, the biggest reversal candle of the day at the open. Like nothing did what NEO did at 9:30. Breaking $5. It's one thing to break $5 and go to like $4.95 and then rally. It's another thing to get all the way, this is real, to get down to $4.78. And before you even get the next 15-minute candle, it's at $5.25. That is a 10% bounce in just minutes after it was down on earnings and a big flush. It just didn't just go down to 5. I'll go to the 3-minute chart. It's actually pulling back and is in the 30s. That's just a dark pull wick back at the $5 level. Sometimes it's like all the bad stuff has happened and maybe it's getting close to being over and people just start speculating on the stock again. That's a huge wipeout bottom. If you take a wipeout bottom like that, hold the higher low, which would be 535, that's where we are right now. This stuff isn't real. Then it could easily break out this top. But you got to watch out. It's probably going to be held down by continued worries, just generally speaking, in the overall space. In China, you have BYD cutting prices again, which puts some pressure on pretty much everybody else, which is a little bit of the reason why they're probably down 2% here, and then you get that downgrade. But I like wipeout bottoms to look for breakout longs the next day. Like if it can take out that consolidation top, I mean, it's been so bad for so long, it really doesn't take much. The 50 period on this thing is like 20% away. Like if it just goes halfway, you've got yourself a pretty good rally. So it's on the radar. If it gets down to $5 again, which seems like could happen, and does another one of those dipsy-doos at 9:30, at least be on the radar for NEO today.
All right, day two play for me on that list would be Target. I think it's pretty simple. I mean, we blasted up huge yesterday. Good upgrade today. You have that high of 170.50. I think this is a long if you break it. Nice upgrade for Target. Great quarter yesterday. Huge move. Didn't really give anything back. I mean, sure, the high was 170, and we ended the day at 168.60, but you know, nice move as opposed to some other names, you know, that get blasted like this. Sometimes you will kind of give back a little bit. This name didn't. I mean, in the pre-market yesterday, we were up here at 166. We took that right off the jump, did fall back into 167, but then made a new high again. So I really like Target up here, 170.50. I think it's a long, and actually, the best part about it, well, the thing is, the spread's too big now for me to even put the order in. I'm thinking like 170.50. I wonder what the spread's going to look like. It's only 8.55, eh? All right, we'll look to take this. I just don't want to miss it, and I don't want to put the order in. So we're going to have it up. But 170.50 on the long, I think we take that. So we'll take that trade for 50 cents worth of risk. We're already at 52-week highs. I don't know if it's all-time highs. I don't think it would be, but you know, we're getting pretty close to a nice little level here. Target, huge move yesterday. Day two play, good earnings. Not a tech name. I like it. Target to the upside.
To move higher here, there was one specific comment that futures might be hanging on right now from Powell. Remember, at 8:30, for anyone joining at 8:30, we got the written portion of the comments that he'll make coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. Rate cuts likely at some point this year. So, I mean, obviously we already knew that. I don't have any idea what that was, but rate cuts likely at some point this year was one of the comments from Fed Chair Powell this morning. So we'll see if we get any more context on that coming up at 10 o'clock. This portion of the show brought to you by our friends over at BluSky Trading Company. Earn a live futures brokerage account in as little as 2 days with $0 funded setup fee. Free coaching and advanced risk controls when in funded. Trade from a wide variety of futures, including Nasdaq, S&P currencies, energies, treasuries, commodities, crypto, and more. Go check out BluSky today. QR code there. Let's get into the futures. Speaking of, we'll have a look at the market here with Sharif.
Yeah, guys, yesterday we closed out below 5,100 for the first time in a couple of days. We got that 50.86 look. We're above 5,100 now, so I'm going to say, look, let's see if we can use that 5,100 level as support. As always, though, with that top here that we put in over a few days, that 5,150 going to be that area of resistance.
If you have not done so yet, make sure you grab that every single morning. It comes to you from us for absolutely nothing. All you need is an email address, and you'll get it for free every day. It has everything you need to know on it right to your inbox, as we mentioned. Let's go. Crowdstrike, that's Microsoft. Crowdstrike up huge here this morning, coming off better than expected report.
Yeah, Brendo, it was a beat on the top and bottom lines, plus issued a stronger than expected guidance for the upcoming quarter and the full year. Let's see how they did. Net income, $54 million. Compare that to a loss of $48 million last year. Full year revenue grew 36% on the year from 2.24 billion to 3 billion, and the guide coming in heavy, $902 to $906 million in revenue for this upcoming quarter. The street was looking for 899, so a beat everywhere, Brendo.
I mean, typical for one of these types of reports, it seems like recently anyways, we're north of 10 on the positive analyst moves this morning for CRWD, but yeah, good look to start the day.
Yeah, I don't know, I'll eyeball it. Looks like about a dozen positive analyst reports, I suppose. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. There'll probably be a couple more next week or in the next couple of days. What's crazy about this is, remember, Palo Alto, the guidance was the concern for PanW. Well, not so much for CrowdStrike. They're talking about by 2025, 10 billion in revenues, which would be up 4x from what they're doing now, if you kind of extrapolate what they're doing, extrapolate from the last few quarters in there. So I think that's great growth for them. Clearly, the market likes it. The gap is huge to previous levels. I mean, just gigantic. So it makes it a tricky trade on earnings. A lot of times, like I'll look back and say, oh, okay, well, 345 to 350 looks like a gap and go. If it were to sell off down into there, that's where I'd look for the bid. But there is something else out there, and it's PanW. So Palo Alto, for obvious reasons, is upside here on that news, but starting to give it back a little bit. So PanW starting to come back on after sympathy on Crowdstrike's earnings. They were at $290. It's only at 97 now. The 290 looks like a pretty good zone. I know I said if things were bad for Crowdstrike, I thought we'd be looking at the 280 level for Palo Alto. But because things were good, key level at that 290 for support. If you get back down in there, I would look for a bounce, a 300 break. If Crowdstrike just starts going and I'm not looking to chase it, then Palo Alto sets you up for a sympathy 300 break. I feel like that you might be able to play off of these where one is a little bit of a leading indicator and then you can play Palo Alto as a bit of a lag. As usual, let this thing settle down. I'm talking about Crowdstrike here. And then you're at fresh highs. It could even have an inside range. If it settles down in the first half an hour and has an inside range, then you can start assessing entries based on that point. But just too wide of a berth here. I think it's going to be a strong one today, and additionally, I want to buy a dip, but the price I'd like to buy the dip on Crowdstrike seems unrealistic, and it might be more realistic to grab one in Pan.
Okay, so for Crowdstrike, we had an expected earnings report of, I think it was 13% or something there from yesterday. We talked about this. So right now, we could just use the same strategy that we've been using. There's 13.5% right there, expected move for Crowdstrike. So obviously today you're getting a much more aggressive play to the upside right now, and that's meant for good things. So yeah, play back to VWAP. We're gonna have to wait for that to settle down to figure out exactly where VWAP is right now, because I don't think that's right, but we have a big spike up there. So it's about 365.80 or so. Yeah, that's about right for VWAP. So we're gonna look for a little bit of a pullback here. It has pulled a little bit. You know, this is what's affecting this VWAP, this 100,000 share print. That was a dark pool. So we'll wait to see if we can hold like 362. But I feel like yesterday and a couple days before, we've called bottoms in names and they've just came close and then we weren't able to hit it. So maybe this one you got to take at 363, but it should be pretty violent right off the jump. I mean, right now you have $1. So I'm not sure exactly it's going to matter, but I think this is a long, you know, and if you're just going to use 360 as your breaking spot, I feel like that's pretty safe. So the closer you can get to 360, you know, the better the trade it is. That's going to be Crowdstrike. And, you know, I just keep buying PanW. I haven't bought it since the earnings, but again, another good name. And, you know, this is why you raise cash. You know, we sold some Disney yesterday, try to see if we can find some better opportunities. We bought Bitcoin at 60,000 with some of that money. You know, that's moved 10% there off that. So, you know, there's some better plays out there. But Crowdstrike's been a great one, and it's just taking out highs now. So congratulations. All this has been great. We did talk about keeping this on your radar. It did have a nice move. It went right into the 50 period. Moving average, it dropped like 17 or 18 bucks there in 2 days, and then blasted back up to the upside. You're not going to be able to hold the market down, and a growth name that people love like Crowdstrike is just going to keep going to the north side. So I think this is a buy for a while.
Just having a look at this APM. A few people mentioning APM still. Yeah, 7.5 million market cap, 2.5 million free float.
Wow.
So tiny, tiny, tiny for APM. I don't really see anything significant as far as news is concerned. Palantir, as we said, up huge, 9% right now, gapping through this top end of the range on the daily chart. Yeah, not only Rivian tomorrow will have an event, but Palantir, there's going to be more than 60 customers showcasing their work in the company's AI platform coming up in an event tomorrow, March 7th.
Yeah, very interesting. Let's see what they unveil. But with respect to the headline today, guys, it's the acquisition of a $178.5 million contract for a project known as Titan, which is an acronym for Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node. Essentially what it is, they're mobile ground stations powered by AI and machine learning. Just imagine them as big kind of bulk vehicles. They have access to space, high altitude, aerial and terrestrial sensors. Sounds terrifying, Brendo, but very effective, I guess, in the military.
I'm wondering if we're going to see some of this at AIP Con tomorrow.
You know that? Yes.
APCon? That's a very weird name for AIPCon.
AI.
Like pecan, like pecan?
Pecan pie? Yeah, that's a good
Maybe
one.
that's what they're, you know what?
Report?
Maybe that's what they're going for, and that makes it hot fire. It's never bad to have military contracts. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, you know what I mean. It's not bad for a company to have military.
It's not the best because they're not expensive, but.
No, but I think it's one of those. If you're doing that, then those budgets aren't going anywhere. They only go up. They don't go down, right? Like it's not like you're not spending less. You're always spending more. That's the way to think about it. PLTR, you're already in this one, so I'll try to keep it brief. 25.5 was 25.6, but 25.5 area was a 52-week high. I think that's the line to shoot for. If it can't hold 25 even, don't fight it. We've seen Palantir gap up, and then when you get all of those big gains in the pre-market, it does a big dipsy-do at the open. So 5 and then 25, those are the levels to look at. If it holds 25.5, that's holding above the 52-week high, and it could absolutely moon after that. You don't want to get in this stock's way when it's trending after the open. It doesn't matter which direction it's going to be, and it's going to do so much volume that scalp trading it and looking for stair step up, respecting that trend is going to be a big deal. So I always like pull back into prior resistance. 25.5 does stand out because it was that 52-week high on PLTR. Just be careful. Usually when this gaps up, there is a sell event at 9:30, typically speaking.
Yeah, all the time.
It seems like all the time.
We have to be very, very careful here. So we wrote down it on our sticky note here that we would put, so you can go find the sticky note at Trader TV, Sean. 25 long. We might have to break this over 26. That's already happened. Army contract and more AA talk. Long, easy. We talked about it in here that we want to find easier trades today. So what I mean by that is you can go find that at Trader TV, Sean, on Twitter, is that you want to have names that have catalysts. And if you have catalysts involved, then it makes it easier. So we know we want to get long. We just now have to find out for the price. What is happening?
What's going on here?
Rob has a dad cup, and he's staring at Sharif and Brendan, so I know it's not for him. There we go.
Is that for me? Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, they're both dads, though. I forgot about, they both have feline friends. Because my dog would be pissed if I forgot to include
that would be
my dog there.
You wouldn't there.
Canine, sorry, canine, not feline. You know, I'm a father of a stupid axolotl, a cat,
but you guys have a cat.
A dog.
Oh, you were talking about them.
No, I was talking about them, and then I saw Rob, and I know Rob has cats.
Okay, gotcha.
And I know Brendan doesn't have a cat, and I know that this guy has those 2 cute French bulldogs. So I know what's going on here. But I do know what's going on with Target. We just got into that long. And the thing is that we're going to have to wait to see now where we're going to go with this, because it's making a move to the high side now. This was a trade that we liked on recommendation of upgrade. It just took it out. It's too early to do anything with this, so this is a very much a starter position. And if we break VWAP down here 169, then we'll take an early L on this one. I didn't even look at the imbalances yet today, so I don't see Target on here, but we do see Palantir, and that's what we're talking about. So look, Palantir's a long for sure. I feel like it dips back into VWAP is what you're looking for. We've already taken out half here at 26 off of a 70 long, so that's 30 cents. We could give all that 30 cents back if it breaks back down into some of these pre-market levels, but I'm not selling, I'm getting long. So I'm getting long down here. I feel like the 200 period is always something that I like to use as kind of like a bail, and that's at 25. So, you know, we've come from 25, 24.30. So there is a chance that if we break 25, we kind of cascade down here. Up 8%, it's beautiful. It's already above its 52-week high. We've loved Palantir for a very, very long time, and the love affair continues.
You love it long? No, I shouldn't.
I do love this long time, and I do not get out of this name, hopefully for a long time as well.
Before we go back to the desk, here's my question, because I like Walmart today. We were talking about this in the afternoon, and Walmart got above that $60 level. Obviously, that's 180 on the daily chart, pre-split. I won't pull up the daily because our charts aren't split adjusted. But it put in, and I tweeted this one out, like it put in a double top. I like the breakout on Walmart because it consolidated off of 60, essentially holding a 60 bottom and a breakout at the top. And obviously, Target's the one with the earnings recently, or yesterday. I mean, Walmart reported as well. But yeah, I like their breakout. It might be a distinction without a difference there. But I know yesterday, in the afternoon, we were more focused on Walmart being above the $60 level. So that's the one I like. Target, I guess, more explosive opportunity, maybe percentage-wise because of the gain yesterday, I'm assuming.
NVIDIA is $881.
Of course it is. Wait, SMCI.
No, this one.
Oh my God.
No, we should be hitting. No, hold on a second. We have. There we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of money being thrown around there. You know. Anyways, NVIDIA, Blast City. I mean, I'm so happy to be long this name and long AMD. The one thing I'm not going to do is be getting out of AMD now, I guess.
Holy crap.
I mean, AMD's 211. I was thinking about buying this one as well. They're both up 3%.
SMCI is up 4.5.
I was going to say, let's go back over to SMCI. SMCI has the best catalyst of them all, and they have the S&P 500 inclusion, which is ridiculous. That this name a year ago was $6 billion market cap. Now 70 billion. 6 billion a year ago, 6 billion, 70 plus billion, and I'm not doing the math when this thing opens up. So, I mean, once this goes, this thing is gone. It's already gone up 5%. Nothing's slowing this down. Did we have a short float on this thing, SMC?
It's now up to 11%.
Is it 11 now? Okay, yeah. So there it is, 11% right there.
It's got, you know what, it's
nice
probably
PE
higher.
of just 83.
The 4P is actually 37.
Yeah, forward.
After the last report, it's 37.
Some of these forward Ps on these chip names, man, I agree with them. It's just, there's some nice guides there. They could even beat those guys, which makes the PE even much more attractive. But yeah, market cap right there. There it is, 64 billion. And then add 5% to that. You're getting pretty close right now to that 70 spot, SMCI. And the big dog is barking, baby. It's NVIDIA. It's up to 880 again right now. I've yelled and yelled at our IT team again here today for these wicks. So, what? I didn't get long at 500? No, that was a dark pool print. So, if you do see this, I do apologize. Neil and I will have to clean them up manually. But sometimes we do get these dark prints back over to the desk.
I'm not even.
All right, let's go on to JD.com, back to the top end of its range as well. You and I were just talking, I mean, this thing's $25. What a move down. If you haven't looked at JD, it's not good, but 15.5% up here this morning on a huge gap to the upside. Nice report, better than expected across the board. I mean, this is going to make up a chunk of this gap this morning, this buyback approval, but still a decent report for JD.
Yeah, $3 billion worth of buybacks, Brendo, on this name. That's what the board there approved. But look, they beat fourth quarter results. They beat the estimates with respect to how much the net revenues grew about 3.6% year over year. Profit grew more aggressively, about 10.1%. Their moat here, according to the CEO, is he's continuing to focus on home appliances and electronics category and looking to outperform the industry. The general merchandise category said grew to a regular trajectory on the quarter. He's looking for a bigger Q1 of 2024.
Day highs right now for JD.com. Already, I was noticing it was on a volume list that I look at as well. 3.5 million shares here in the pre-market for JD.
Yeah, relative volume. Obviously, when you report, you're going to do a good relative volume. You're taking out local highs. You're not anywhere near any. You can pretty much stick a fork in things like 52-week highs for the Chinese ADRs. So let's be real. But the bottom of the channel is potentially breaking today, and that's 24. I have 2470 as the high, which it's getting through as we speak. The fear with Chinese ADRs. most of the time, we even said this with Palantir, with a gap up like that, are there not going to be profit takers at the open? 24 stands out there like a bit of a sore thumb. But what's interesting to me is Alibaba. Like Baba, up on sympathy, yesterday made another bottom in front of the $70 level. And this is now, it's just another close, just trying to hold on to this 50-period moving average. There's a higher low. It just feels like if JD runs today, can Baba get back up and maybe re-challenge that 78? First step would be holding the $74 level. Probably because we usually trade Baba out of this group. But yeah, the 74 level, if JD's taking out highs and Baba holds 74 at the open, I might look to engage along on this one where you could break out the top and have a relatively tight stop. I mean, if it gets underneath 80, you can be out of this thing at the open. But I want to see this hold 74. It was a good start and then a gap up, and I just like where this is at. Like you'd be supporting the 50-period moving average at this open on Alibaba as opposed to trying to take JD up 15% through those highs, which is not my cup of tea with the Chinese ADRs. I'd rather something where it's easier to know where I'm wrong.
Yeah, I didn't realize Alibaba was up to $74. That's a good call there. It's only $9.15 right now. Okay. I was just noticing that we are starting to go on Amazon a little bit here. I was just looking to make sure. I know we have some semi-talk coming up. We have some crypto, but right now Amazon was starting to go through 175.50, and I just want to note there's a little bit of a stacked bid here. So this is a lot considering the pre-market. You know, you have a bunch of hundreds everywhere, then you have a couple thousand shares sitting here randomly. That's 5,000 on Nasdaq, another 3,400, another 33 and 22. So 10, 15,000 or so shares just kind of sitting there. And then it looks like you have some kind of a, either a iceberg there. Okay, finally it broke it. Anyways, a couple hundred shares going through, one share at a time. The idea here is that someone's either supporting this, there's going to be a big move here off the open. I don't know, but I really like this Amazon trade, so this is something that I'm looking at with a little bit of suspicious order flow, in my opinion, right now. So let's wait to see what happens here. I feel like they're taking this long at 175.50. Why are we taking 10,000 shares long right now in the middle of the pre-market with decent size on various gateways? So I don't know. Something to watch out here. I've already got Amazon on the sticky note, and I really like this play. It was one yesterday. Yeah. I know Sharif had this in the midday as well off 174, so we'll wait to see about Amazon if we do get back into that 174, an interesting spot.
Checking on SoundHound, some of the AI names just popping up. There's nothing new that I saw anyways, but MRAI and SOUN moving around as well, so just watch out for that. 4.4% right now for SOUN. Coming back into that 515 level, so heads up for that one. Let's talk about this, crypto. Back to the upside in a pretty big way here this morning, right at 67,000 right now, after we broke the high yesterday and then just got absolutely slammed back down through 60,000 to the downside for Bitcoin.
And that's not the only cryptocurrency making moves, Brendo, by far the biggest, but Ethereum up big and now knocking on the door of $4,000. It's up over 13.5%. I know that everybody's crypto day starts a little bit different for mine. I have mine at 13.5%, but what a move. Obviously, Bitcoin traded over 69,000 yesterday, making all-time highs. Like I said at the top of the show, I think this is a bit of a different move here in the crypto industry than the one we had in 2021. I think it's based on more sound fundamentals. We'll see how it goes.
Solana as well with just an absolute monstrous move back to 130 here. I saw a chart last night. I don't know how accurate it was, but it was actually Solana that was up the most versus the other two in the past month or two.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I just realized, actually, I realized this yesterday when I went in there when Solana was at 140. I went in there, I was like, you know what, I should sell some. Okay, but you know what I realized? I was staking it. But I've earned 4 Solana coins by staking it so far. So that's not bad. So I felt like that was pretty good. So anyways, I have taken off the stake, and now it'll take a couple of days, and I think we could probably sell some Solana with the move that it's up there right now. But staking is pretty cool, man. That's for sure. Get some little benefits there. All right, so just real quick. 224 here for Coinbase. Nice bottom. I mean, Bitcoin's back, baby, at 66,000, 67,000. Feels pretty comfortable at these levels right now. We did get some nervous Nancy hands yesterday as we went from 69,000 all the way down to 59,000. Binance had some withdrawal issues. You know, I feel like this is what crypto wants to do. It wants to do a dance. And the thing about it is, the ETFs are just there to buy this thing right back up. But I'm not sure I trust Coinbase up here. We had a huge move in the pre-market up to 231, 232. Yesterday, and this is what we talked about on my sticky note, we had a very similar move right here off the open. So we opened at 229. We ripped up into 236, 237. We did take out almost 240 there. But I want to try to use some of these highs into here, 231, 232, just to try to get a short. We can get out of this at 234, 235. I don't think we hold the 240. But the idea with Coinbase is to always have your eye on it, because what I wrote on here is, on the sticky note, is if we go for a jog here today and we get back to 70,000, Coinbase is going to be running like crazy. We've seen so many tops and then fade. If it happens again, we have to be on Coinbase. It's free money if that happens, so let's wait to see. I don't want to try to play it too crazy. And then I said, like, what I was saying to Sharif was the same thing. I saw Mara down here at 2250 back in February, back in January, back in December. These look like great levels for Mara. So if the market falls in, I think you can buy some of this name too at 2250. I mean, I don't think you're going to get $22 on Mara today, but if you do, I think it's a buy. So for me, it's short Coinbase on pops, buy Mara on dips, and have fun with some of your altcoins, because this is a great time to be invested in crypto because of some of the stuff Sharif was saying. You now have legitimacy pretty much worldwide in some of these names. I mean, crypto markets booming in the United States. We know where it is in Asia. They've been supporting it for a very, very long time. Crypto ETFs were first brought to the market here in Canada. So I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. We had Jeff Mendel on yesterday.
Yeah.
Litecoin, ECN. It's not.
No, it's
ETF,
available on
available on OTC markets. So is Ethereum Cash, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin Cash. They're all there. And yeah, eventually we'll see if Ethereum does get approved. But what a day for that too, approaching 4,000.
100%. If we double tap 69, I don't know what price Coinbase will be at, but if we double tap to 69,000, I was saying earlier, I am looking for, if we don't break it and there's a fail break again at 69,000 on Bitcoin, I'm looking to short Coinbase kind of wherever it happens to set up in that moment. And if I don't find a setup, maybe IBIT. But Mara, only because we talked about this and it wasn't really on my radar until we were talking about it earlier. Look, you got this bottom here at 22, but you also have up here the $23 kind of aftermarket. It was some resistance at lunchtime, and then we got up there in the aftermarket. Now you're holding support at 23. If this dips and bounces off of 23, it's been under pressure and relatively weak, and putting in a higher low today looks pretty darn good if it can. Just be careful, because this was going down when Bitcoin was going up. They had the offering and some concerns with the miners going into the halving. So there are legitimate reasons to be a little bit less bullish on it. That said, when it's dropped $7 in a couple of days, a relief rally as Bitcoin breaks out does get pretty appealing, because it doesn't take much for it to pop $1. So I'll be watching this one for some bounce longs, but I don't care where Coinbase is. It could be at resistance or not. If we're at 230 on Coinbase and we fail a 69,000 high, then I probably short that level. So I'm not married to a price level on Coinbase. I just want to give it that.
We were just reading through some ARK activity from yesterday. A few notable moves. Cathie Wood in there selling 110,000 plus shares of Coinbase yesterday. Why not, with Bitcoin at all-time highs? NVDA, they sold more as well. 5,835 shares of NVDA. Ouch, that kind of hurts today. But I mean, I'm sure she's long from $40, $50 on NVIDIA right now. Tesla as well, they were buying. So selling coin, selling NVIDIA, buying Tesla. But yeah, semis, I mean, wow. As we said, 881 now for NVIDIA.
What's her price target on Tesla again? It's like $1,000, $2,000, something like that. It's very
Doesn't matter
aggressive.
anymore.
It doesn't really matter, I guess, at this point. And with respect to semis, guys, super microcomputer getting yet another upgrade. Adair brought that to you guys on the upgrades and downgrades list. Guys, this stock is up over 1,000% in the last year. If you want to have a look at what the analyst said, you can go have a look at this article on Seeking Alpha. But I also want to remind everybody that Broadcom reports tomorrow after the bell. Make sure to catch the market recap show with Sean. He'll be covering Broadcom after the bell tomorrow with earnings.
There's more volume just coming through on SOUN as well, trying to get back to day highs here, up 5.5.
Not just Broadcom, Marvell reports as well. You don't have to apologize, Sharif. Marvell's not as big. No one cares. Broadcom, obviously, a much bigger name than Marvell, but they both report after the bell tomorrow. The last two chip names to get off the schneid here. Getting off the schneid is AMD. AMD yesterday, so 2 days ago, on Monday was that it got to 211. Yesterday was a bounce off 200. Today, you're actually taking out this 211. But I remember you for breakouts, AMD, and you stunk recently. So I don't want breakouts on AMD. I want dips. And the first available dip is down into the pre-market low, which would be into this 209 area. So if that happens at the open, it's just 1% down. It's a $200 stock. Then that's what I would look for on AMD. NVIDIA is absolutely flying as well. This is going to be hard to see. Oh, the wicks aren't that bad in this chart. You could easily see a $900 level today on NVIDIA if we can hold this previous high at 875. So I think dip and rip is the way to go on both of these names. SMCI, I don't really trade this name given how the spread is a little bit bigger. It has yet to break out its top at 11. I think it's 1155 is its top. So AMD is testing 11s right now. I want to go dip buy at the 09 level. And I'll stay away from SMCI. I do like the longs in NVIDIA, but AMD feels like it'll come in first. And if I'm short one of these names, it's either, it's going to be Intel or ARM. I think I'm sticking to that. Intel died yesterday after being strong on Monday, and the opening top was 44.25. If it cannot clear this at the open, this is the one that sets up for a short. Not to pick on you, Intel, but I mean, come on. Look at their chart yesterday, and when everything rallied at the end of the day, Intel basically did this little move off of the bottom, which is nothing. And you consider the gap up, it's still $3 from Monday's top. So clearly a relatively weak name.
Okay, just quickly here, we are into Target. Target's right now printing 71.45s. That would be almost $1 in the money right now. 71.09's printing. If you guys want this name, we do have an imbalance coming through immediately. I don't see anything here on. I mean, Target's probably here somewhere, but I'm sitting at 174 right now to see if we can get a nice little bump up. Palantir on that list as well. We'll semis. Okay. Because we might not, I mean, Neil just talked about them. I want to buy dips into AMD. I think AMD is the better one for now, but we'll wait. Disney into 112. We got a nice little dump yesterday, and then we bought these 112.30s last night into the close, and that was a monster trade. That really topped off our day yesterday. So if we can do that again, we had Bob Iger come in there and talk about direct-to-consumer possibly being profitable in 2024, I guess, near the end of the year. That sent it rallying, and then the fade came right back in, and we stopped at the same levels. So I'm a buyer down here, so I'm going to put that order in for Disney immediately right now. But yeah, that's it, man. Semis, I want to buy all that. I want to buy dips into Palantir as well. But yeah, we'll have to watch. NVIDIA's at 881 right now and still going. So we'll wait to see if that has any effect on anything coming out soon. But Palantir, 2550 is where we want to start the bidding if it does fall back into that. So I'm getting some orders ready. It's 928 right now. Let's see if there was any significant Nasdaq names that came out. SoFi with the sell. That really sucks. I knew, should have just trusted Robinhood there. Let's go back to the desk.
The rundown brought to you by our friends over at Collective Mining, drilling high-grade targets in Colombia with results including 519 meters at 274 grams per ton gold equivalent. Scan the QR code, bottom right corner. On the TSX here in Toronto, CNL, OTC, QX, CNL, MF for Collective Mining.
Yeah, guys. All right. We're talking about short selling all week. And today, no different. We're going to be talking about shorting into an active decline. So check out How to Trade with Adair and I starting at 11.
Oh, we haven't talked about Apple yet. If you're talking about shorting the last couple of days, Apple has been a short. It's up 0.5% today, but look where it just turned. It could not get through that 172. Again, this pre-market, 170, 175. This is kind of like Tesla. It's like, prove it to me. Maybe you can hold that 170 today, but until you're through 172, then I don't think I'm through with that. There was some chatter about, we didn't mention anything about ARM. ARM has been a decent short as well on pops, but I think it needs to get to at least 142, Monday's afternoon high, before I would consider that. I feel like Intel gets there first. And the market is strong above that 18.1 for now. So I think you want to pick your spots when looking for those shorts. AMD's already starting to dip back in. That's down at the 210, looking for a 209 off of the open on Advanced Micro Device. That's the first chip name that I think might come in on this Hump Day Wednesday. That's right.
That's
in
right.
4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring it.
All right.
I actually was thinking about what day it was for a second.
So Target immediately makes the move upside right now. So here we go, man. We are starting to get opened up. Let's wait to see what does happen right now. Target is in the money, about $1.80 right now as the U.S. markets are open. We're waiting for a New York print to come through on TGT and see how high we can fly for that one right now. All right, Palantir is falling back in, but we're not worried about it. We're waiting for a bigger trade. If it does come in into 25.50, we've talked about Palantir getting faded often on these kind of moves. We're still waiting for Target to open up. Target is right now, if we take it, it's $2 in the money, but we need this to open up so that we can actually take a fill here. So Target right now trying to go, could fade out. Take your profit if you like it. I'm going to hold on to it. Palantir falling in a bit.
Yeah, Crowdstrike's coming in, watching out for some Palo Alto. Crowdstrike's down at the 350 level. AMD just broke out the 211, so you can pretty much forget about 209s. That's going to be gonzo. But as Crowdstrike got into the 350 area, I wanted sympathy on Palo Alto. But it's Palantir that's now going to be on our minds because it just got down to that 25.50 level on a spike to the downside in Palantir.
Yeah, we obviously took some shares down there, so we're going to have to wait to see where we can go right now. So here we go. Let's see if we get back up to the upside. Let's go Palantir. Let's go Palantir. We talked about that dip buy into 25.50. Can we do it any different than that? No, we cannot. Right there for Palantir. There it is. You like that one? You like that one? That's it right there. Patrick likes that one. So let's go, man. There we go right there. We talked about that dip buy into 25. If you said, where's Sean Long? And you said 25.55. You would be right. So there's a nice little dip buy there into Palantir. Let's just take some profit as we just cashed out up near $26. Let's see where the fall in now
right
happens.
Back 25 to 26, and it's right back.
Yeah, exactly. Right back in for Palantir, guys. Take profits where profit lies. We should have taken some out on Target. Let's see if that gets going now. But Target, nicely done. But here goes Palantir right back in again.
That's insane. So, I mean, I'm glad ring register on that one. I did not just reload it. It got to the 40 level, but I got to get over at AMD. Today, we don't take the breakout at 211. It dipped into 210. It's at 212 now. You're absolutely flying on Advanced Micro Devices. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Palantir, good reload down there as well. 25.50, another one. Everything moving around here, guys. Target, $2. Palantir, another 30-cent winner here. Will the market continue? We had Sharif beside us talk also about Apple trying to break through 170. So another take rate here on Apple trying to get through 170 right now. So two positions over here, nothing over there. We'll get back. There goes Palantir again, man. Another cash out. Like, I feel like the Cash App here, we'll just keep cashing out every time it goes back up to the upside. Watch out for Palantir, man. It's definitely not moving the way I thought it would. Making a move down and not really going back up. So
it feels like the play was it usually sells off at the open. And then there was a dip buy. Got one dip buy already. I've been taking one trade, and that was 25.50 to 26. And I'll take it one more time in here. But wow, the market did make a bounce. The chip names are absolutely flying, everybody. You know, like the dip, did not want to play that breakout trade, but the chips are absolutely gonzo. I've reloaded Palantir, going to get in and out a couple more times here and see what happens. But the chips were a bit of a miss not to take that break. Adara at the desk?
Massive volume spike for EVGO. EVGO is the ticker for this one, right off the open, up about 20% after super strong earnings across the board here. Also worth noting, they have about 8% short float. So EVGO very much to the upside here, guys.
And guys, we are not, like, we just took Target, and Target was great. So there it goes, man. I mean, that was a really good trade. Oopsies, that was a good trade there for Target. We got long at 170.50. We got out at 173. Now it's starting to go higher. So another 250. It's not, it's a 1, it's a 2. It's a $3 winner right now on Target. And honestly, we are getting out of Palantir like in the 60s. I'll put one more offer out there. Here it comes back in again. So I feel pretty happy not reloading this last time. But here's a little bit of a wipeout bottom. Let's see if it exactly is that bottom. Watch out for 25.20 coming in right now for Palantir.
Yeah, I'm out because once it took that local low, I've only made one trade. Oh, check that. We just got into Intel. 44.25 was going to be that top. You can see bad wicks in there, but 44.25 is this high from yesterday. It just wicked the 10s.
Bye-bye.
I'm short at 11s as this is now pulling back in. 11.8 just got taken out on the Nasdaq back to the downside, but the only thing I liked short was Intel this morning. I don't even think I had another short idea. Unless Coinbase, look, if Bitcoin had broken 69,000 and failed it, I would have shorted Coinbase, but that hasn't happened here. So I had 2 short setups, one of which came into play.
Guys, almost $4 in the money now on Target and still going. So that was great. Thanks to Dara for that upgrade because I didn't even realize Target wasn't even on my radar until I saw the upgrades and downgrades list. So again, thank you so much for that, Adara. Thank you so much for everybody with Palantir. I mean, this has been an absolutely hot dog kind of a day for PLTR. It falls right into some of the levels and boom. Good trade there for Palantir as we just continue to take it out, man. We'll go 2 for 2 today with Target and with Palantir. And we're going to watch out because now if this breaks back down below 20s, we're going to get out. But we just got more out of this Palantir trade. Let's wait to see where it goes as here it comes right back. There it goes. It's going to break and we're going to be out as it breaks through 20s. There it goes. So downside for Palantir, upside for Target. At some point, though, this is going to be another buy on Palantir. So let's wait to see. Maybe 25 flat. Sorry, we're still on Target because that's $4. There's Palantir right here. So we're long now at 23s. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye out for Rail Vision RVSN. This one pulling back a little bit now, but still up about 30%, announcing right before the open that it's received its first commercial installation of its AI-driven mainline systems in a national railway line. Also important to note here, we do have a float of about 2.65 million shares, so very small float. 4.8% of that is going to be short for RVSN, guys.
Oh, I know you are, VSN. Watching Palantir, Palantir didn't get to 25 even, but that was the next level. It got to 25.20. That's where I'm going to jump back into it. Tesla, still red, rejected 180 clean here at the open and starting to head back into the downside. If it fails up there again, that's another weak name that we can try to dig into. Yeah, you're right about that TT77. Dang, Neo. Yeah, Neo was making a huge rally, but it wasn't Neo that I liked. It was Alibaba holding 74. So it bounced off 74. I wanted to see 74 hold at the open. JD.com is the one that reported, but I liked Alibaba at these levels. So I'm going to work into this in front of 74 even, as that's now held the open. So Neo going, JD going. The market is starting to come back in, however. We're back under the 18,000, sorry, the 18.1 level on the Nasdaq. Might still get that AMD coming back into 209, however.
And guys, this is why it doesn't really matter what you trade, whether or not it's tech, whether or not it's Palantir, whether or not it's retail names. We just took $4 right there.
Another one.
Like this morning is much better than yesterday. And yesterday, well, I mean, actually, yesterday might have been better because I had more conviction with Apple. But this is great. So we are now almost out of Target. I mean, our target on Target was 174. We actually tweeted that out, and it's working out really well right now. So we'll take it out, hit the target, and if it continues to come in or come up to the upside, that's fine. We'll still have a small piece left. But good trade there, obviously on Target, as we just got out at 174 right there. And by the way, like we tweeted this out and talked about this. As soon as Adara does the upgrades, what time are the upgrades? 8:45. So we put this trade in at 8:45. It only triggered there at 9:07 to give you guys and me my first $4 winner there today. Good couple outs. Palantir goes right back to VWAP, so we'll take a piece out right there. Kind of dancing around a little bit now. We'll see if we can get a piece out, another piece out right now as we continue to go on. But so far, so good here today, man. Lots of trades. We'll go 2 for 2 and just wait for more specific setups. But the market's dipping, so we got to go find some longs.
As the market comes down in, we're close to 09s on AMD. That's not going to come into play. Palantir is still bouncing a little bit away from the level I like. I've taken 2 trades, same level, 1 in, 1 out, pretty much the second time through, although we did take 1 profit before it came out. If it gets back above 25.50, then it can reestablish. But it's been downward trending since said open. It's AMD that is stronger than NVIDIA. As that continues to climb, might have to stick a fork in 209 and start looking at this breakout off of VWAP here at 212. So this is much, much stronger, at least the last I had checked, than what I saw over in NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a little bit stare down while AMD is stare up. So I'm going to prioritize AMD over NVIDIA today. We're going back to Adara. I'm looking 212 on advanced micro devices.
A lot of these Chinese ADRs running today. Alibaba was discussed. Bilibili also strong ahead of its earnings, but DADA, Data Nexus, up over 40%. Back on January 8th here, we see this massive move down in the daily chart, announcing an internal audit. Now, yesterday, revealing some of the results of that audit and saying that their management or their investigation so far shows that no management was likely involved in some of the deals under question. So nice move up here for DADA, guys, up 42%.
I don't have that key.
All right, DADA. Okay. Google. I was looking at Target again. If we break 174, we're going to get out. I mean, that's already been quite a nice move here. Here goes AMD new highs. So again, breaking out. We just touched almost 214, and it is still rocking and rolling. So let's go Palantir, man. Palantir is now a monster for us over here as we'll slap that around. Now 40 cents in the money on Palantir. It's been a monster trade there today. Target, even better than that, man. Target is now $4 in the money, and we've talked about where we've taken profit on that name as well. So far, so good over there. Neil's got the long Alibaba, the short Intel. Things starting to work for us now, I hope. Affirm making the move upside right here. I don't want to get in front of this one until I actually look at this, but there goes Affirm, taking out day's high, up 3%, showing up on a scanner now. Look at Palantir, guys. Wow. Again, we did get stopped out when it broke through 20, but that was the 200 period, so we did have to get something out, which was okay. We had gotten a lot out here on VWAP, took the remainder out, then just bought it right back, as there goes Palantir, trying to go back up to highs. And man, this is a good day to trade today, man. $4 on Target, plus this damage on PLTR. Today's a pretty good day over here, guys. I hope you're having a good one where you are. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we're here all damn day.
Yeah, just pick your spots, man. Like Palantir gave you that 25.5. Now it's trying to retest that 26 level. Remember, it sold off big at that level. It's AMD that I'm more concerned with here because getting into this one did not get that dip by. You're now seeing it break out. The stairs are absolutely flying to the upside. Every high on AMD is a 52-week. It's a new fresh top on advanced micro devices. So you just continue to go. Intel's still holding underneath $44. I'm short. I added to it on the way down, so I had 11s originally, but I actually added as it worked in the money. So you're going to see my price now at 6s. As long as that stays weak, I'm going to be all over it. Neo's flying. I absolutely know it, but it's AMD that I want on the next available dip. If it gets to 212, fine, but if it doesn't get there, I still want to get the next bounce on AMD. So I want to stick to that level too. BABA's pretty much flat. It's, I don't know, 5 cents against me, which means it's not really moving all that much. It's AMD next dip that I got to be able to get here. Oh, and Apple short. We did miss the opportunity. Apple never got back to 172, but we said Apple was still a short. It just never got anywhere close to 172 off the open. I think I want to short the next available pop here. Back under 170. Apple still kind of sucks.
You know what doesn't suck, man? We are now $4 in the money right now on Target. Again, this is going to be a big one, so we're pretty happy with that. We're now 90 cents in the money. We're almost a $1 club member. Well, we pretty much look at Palantir. So there it goes. Again, right? Nice to be long. Let's see where this name goes from here. Obviously squeezing higher and higher and higher. There goes Palantir. Taking now out the day's high. So we'll face slap on that one. I mean, if obviously, I mean, we're really on cloud 9 right now anyways, but Palantir, like to have known about that, wow. Unlimited shares to have been bought or sold down here at the 200 period, and there it goes, blasting all the way to the upside. New position alert, though, new position alert. Talk about some Roblox. These guys take a lot of money from me, so I'm going to try to make a lot of money back, but it doesn't have to be a lot. We'll see if it dips down through $39. So if it dips down into that level, then we'll be exiting this trade. Let's see if Roblox has a chance to get back into the 40 range, right? Make Roblox great again. 39.60, we'll see if it can come back up into that level right now for RBLX. So that's what I'm going to be looking at right now. So we'll do that here for Roblox. We're long right now at 36. It's a flat trade for us. Ho-humming almost a $5 winner. And then there it is right there. It is $1 now on Palantir. So boom goes the dynamite on PLTR today. What a great name that was. Again, the #1 trade here on the sticky note. At 25 long, it goes into 25 long. So there it is right there. Nice trade for...
What was the low on Palantir?
25.20 was it? Hold on a second. I have it here. It's... So I'm long right now, 25.23. So anyways, either way, it's right there. So it does fall right into our level, and we bought it. So good trade there for PLTR, man. Over the moon with trading today.
Yeah, I just got into PanW. I said I would take this possibly over Crowdstrike, so that's pretty much what I've done. It was just about 70 pennies in the money, but I want to buck on that first bounce. I'll show you why. Yesterday's bottom on PanW was here. Crowdstrike, I said dip 346. This just bounced off the 346 level.
Look at Roblox.
And I got this one on sympathy here in Palo Alto. So 346 on Crowd, still up 18%. PanW also taking it back out.
Long
as
33.
It's an absolute rocket to the downside on Crowdstrike. We bought the dip on PanW instead. Plug Power apparently moving, but we'll get to that in another heartbeat because AMD is about to take out 215. What an absolute monster. You're finally getting a bid above 26. If 26 holds in Palantir, I'd add to that. We're about $1 in the money on the PanW, and all I can think about is how I did not get this dip buy in AMD.
Yeah.
I mean, AMD was a long I probably did not want enough. That's the way I got to look at it. Like, you can want it, but maybe I should have just punched long through the high of the day break. I wanted dip buys and not breakouts on AMD. As I said, Palo Alto off of yesterday's bottom when Crowdstrike dipped. Got it here at 85. It's breaking 86. I like this one to 88 to 90. There's a bit of a relief rally here in PanW. Down 2% despite the big quarter by the Crowd.
Yeah, the market's coming down here quite nicely. We just took advantage of a Roblox bump. I mean, Sharif was like, we were looking at it. I was like, wow, there goes Roblox. He's like, nice level there. And so we got some out there in the 40s, including the high 40s. As well. I think we got like a 40. Yeah, we got a 49, a 45, and a 47. So good trade there, but it is falling down. So watch out here for Roblox coming back in. This took 175. It went to 175.20 and now faded back out. Our out on this would be just for a $3.50 winner. Sorry about that. Breaking back down below 174 if that does happen. Palantir, we're kind of just rolling with it now, so we're going to wait to see if Palantir has anything to talk to us about because we only have 10% left. So, it's not like it's going to be a make or break decision no matter what happens. We'd preferably like this to fall back into VWAP again. So we'll wait to see, but if we can roll with it, we'll roll with it. Here goes Roblox, right back up again to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. There it is right there. Let's go, man. This is what we're doing there on Roblox. Just went into the 50s right now for that one. So far, so good here as we continue to watch a little bit of money come through there. Thank you, Roblox. That was good. Back over to Adara.
Yeah, I just have the USD to Canadian dollar move up here, and as you can see, big move down for the USD with some hawkish statements coming out of the Bank of Canada, basically saying that it's still too early for the Bank of Canada to consider cutting rates. There have been no big surprises since January rate announcement. The economic growth has remained weak, and inflation has eased further, basically saying that the Bank of Canada needs to give higher rates more time to work, and it's too early to loosen the restrictive policy that's gotten us this far. So just some takes here from the Bank of Canada. Big move down for the USD against the CAD right now, guys.
Just going to bank on PanW there. We just threw a trail in off this 87 level. We got 85 back into 86.8. So we'll take the money and run on that. Just watching out for PanW and Crowdstrike in together. If you are watching the cybersecurity names, there was a nice little muted bounce off the bottom. Took a couple bucks on it. But Crowd, this is what got me out. Like Crowd did this reversal off of VWAP. So I'm like, okay, if I'm using it as my futures, let's just take the money on run. I did a similar thing on Intel here as a buyer stepped up again at 43.99. Sorry, 43.90. So we had the short on this one at the 10s, and they just kept on buying this one at 43.90. So we're going to make sure we bank that profit. Palantir good, PanW good, Intel good so far. The only one that might not be working is BABA in front of 74. So JD, Alibaba in front of 74. It's holding the 74. We got it on the break with the 74 stop. It bounced off 74 a second time. It just hasn't gone anywhere yet off 74. So the ones we realized we'd be able to go 3 for 3, just picking spots. And crypto is pulling back a little bit. We might have missed an opportunity on Coinbase up there at 35. We said if we failed the top on crypto, we wanted to short Coinbase wherever it happened to be. That said, not going to complain. We prioritize, I think, the right things. But that might have been a missed opportunity as crypto pulled back off the highs one more time.
Yeah, we like some crypto.
Right off 35s again.
Guys, Target is still $4, still going. I don't know, it's back up to those highs. We got a nice little jog there, by the way, in Roblox. Like, I am really like playing this name, but it's tricky because it goes like, it's very thin, and it'll just make those moves. And when they do, man, you have to take advantage of it. So we're sitting here again at VWAP. We just got out at 60, 61 there as it fades back out. And for some of you traders at home, you know, making 1 or 2 pennies here or there isn't going to make that much of a difference. But you know, you got to understand the style of trading that you're doing and trade accordingly. Because like Roblox, if you're waiting all day for this thing to pop up, I'm just doing what I do here every day, and that's scalp these things out. So, you know, we'll wait for another fill up here, but I still think it could get to $40, just a matter of when and where. There goes Target, by the way. Thanks for all the love. Go find it at Trader TV Sean. We tweeted this thing out at 9:07 when we took the position right there. And there it goes, man, 175. And I want to thank Adara for this one because that was an upgrade that she brought to my attention that I didn't even have looking at it. We didn't even trade Target yesterday, and today it'll be the #1 name on the floor. So there it goes right there. I don't know about.
You watching Palantir?
I'm not sure about the floor. Palantir's coming back in.
It just
right
dropped $1 in 3 minutes.
Yep. Okay, so let's take some longs. We're gonna watch out for Palantir here. That's why I'm saying I have that 10%. So here it is, a nice move back in for Palantir. Let's give it to that bottom. Here we go, Palantir coming back in.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd time I've been in this one. The first 2 times have been good, but that's a little bit heavier. Like, it just slammed back into that 30 level on PLTR with the low being, I have 16. That's not, yeah, I have like 16.
Kind of like Onyx there.
16s is the low. Let's see if we can get back up to that 50, but that was an absolute hammer down in Palantir. Let's see if we can get this one going again. You had to be patient with it, though. Wait for it to come back in. I know that RVSN is moving, but $1 candle on Palantir? Come on.
Yeah, we really like that, and we really like that a hell of a lot. Let's go, man. Spin it again for Palantir, man. That's what it's all about. Yeah, good call out there for PLTR coming back in, man. We loaded the boat one more time down there, and then now let's just take it out. You know, if we can hold a little bit for that move back upside, we'll be there for that again, right? But look what else we have to deal with. And when you have too many winners on, it's not a problem. But right now, we do have Roblox that we have to attend to. So there's the fill that we just got right there. And here comes Palantir. We got out of 50% of that trade as it just bumped back up. I don't know what's going on with it. Huge move to the downside, really. You know, collapsing $1, as Neil mentioned. You got to be careful with that one. It's Palantir starting to head a little bit southbound. But we'll stay in it. We'll see if we can hold a little. Okay, well, now I'm going to get some more out. As it goes into the 50s, let's go, man. Spin it. It's Palantir mania over here at Trader TV Live. Palantir, Roblox, Target, Disney. Man,
oh man.
Good day.
It's like, it's unbelievable how it's moving. I got a sympathy play. If Palantir completely gives it up, C3AI might be the short. I'm only looking long right now on Palantir, which has been good if you've got those bottoms. But if it can't hold 25.5, I see C3AI up on sympathy. If this breaks VWAP, I'm trailing this at 55 or 50s, and I'm not getting back in if it gets back into the bottom. That's way too heavy of a pullback that if it comes a 3rd time forget about it. And I like AI for a fade. I'm going to get back into Intel to the short side, and here comes AMD. As the market, look, the market's well underneath 18.1 and tracking towards 18,000. So we have to look at some of these shorts. I never got into the Apple short. I might have to revise that as we go to Adara.
Lots of volume here to move up for STRC, Sarcos Technologies and Robotics Corporation. This one, no news on this. We're up about 50% on the day right now. They do have a pretty small float, about 12.6 million shares here for STRC, guys.
We do. We did talk about another new position that we had on right there was Disney. So this is another winning trade, hopefully. We're long at 12.09 right now. And again, we put this on here. So far today, we got to go look at Amazon, but we have Palantir long 25. Amazon long 174, Disney long 112. We haven't looked at Tesla yet here today, but here goes Disney. Let's see if we get some fills. I'll take something else in the 20s if we can get it. We just got a 19 fill, so I'm looking at a 20 fill, but if this breaks back below 12, then we're going to get out, right? I mean, it doesn't look like this wants to hold. The market is coming back down, and I have to deal with some of these longs right now. So we're long. We just got another bailout.
Yeah, Apple's going up.
Yeah, we just got another bailout in Roblox. We can look at, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that Apple. Okay,
Apple's going, well, I don't know what's going on.
Disney just got faded out there. So we'll take the L on Disney. It was a good thing we sort of got something out there, but here goes the market breaking now below what, pre-market? Not really, but you know, you're getting close. To see if we could test that 18,000 again. Is that what's in the cards? I mean,
if we test 18,000 and Apple short doesn't work, then I'll be a little surprised. I know it bounced off 169, but I was looking for the fade back into. This isn't really a pre-market low because a lot of that's dark pool wicks. But you've got 170 in here, and I got this at the halves and probably should have waited till it got to 170. If we curl at VWAP, great, but it would be interesting that the market pulling back in and the first L of the day is going to be short Apple, which is a complete reversal from the last couple of days. Like, short Apple has been the jam recently. If we break out past the 170, I have a stop just above there, and we're not going to want to fight this one if it gets too heavy. AMD's pulling back in pretty nicely, but my eyes are on Apple. If it curls here, then I can get some on the way down, which is what I should have done in the first place. I'm on the offer of Intel and did not get filled there. I might have to pick some up in front of that 44 or above that 44. I should be still in Intel. That's the thing. That one's still working, and I just got out of that. I'm going to get back into Intel if we pop again because the market's going down here, everybody. And I'm not even understanding why Apple is so strong. Weird.
All right, I'm going to start another new position right now. We're going to start one with a firm. Disney just popped back up again. So that kind of sucks. So we take the flat out there through 112, only to find out that that was not the right thing to do. But okay, we'll wait for that. Oh, so the new position alert is on a firm. We were getting out of some roadblocks there, so we're not going to worry too much about that. I would actually prefer the market to tank right now because of my friendly trade here on a firm. So we're going to punch some out right now. Again, it's just a 17-cent winner. We just took it right there, as we'll just go for another one here on a firm. There it is. We got to get out before it actually does anything. So we'll put some more bids out here as we just touched 87 on a firm. Like I said, you got to put stuff out or you're just not going to get filled. So we'll put some more orders out here on AFRM and see if we can't get a couple more fills here on that name. So we'll punch a little bit out again there at 93. But there it is, a nice little move back in for AFRM. As there goes Disney. Maybe we weren't so wrong on that either, as it's starting to go lower. We sold some of this yesterday and felt somewhat bad about it, but we feel pretty good now as there goes a firm to the downside. Roblox going back to zeros. We're already out of this. I'm buying some more down near 39 if we have to, but here comes a move back in for Roblox. So let's be patient until we get into 39, and then we're going to watch out for a firm. We have some numbers coming out at 10 o'clock. So Adara will get that in 2 minutes, and then we'll just work from there.
AMD just broke VWAP.
Oh, okay. See, the market's coming in pretty good here, guys.
Yeah, like now the market's starting to come back in, but I got myself a bad price on Apple. Oh. So when I got the fill back through the 69 level, of course, I'm going to end up with a price close to the 80s because I got in some too early. But where is the no bounce in AMD? I was looking for this to bounce off VWAP. No, it's just straight through. Like, not even a green candle in sight. No strengths to be found. So that one kind of sucks.
Broke.
Palantir broke 25.
Yep.
However, look, breaking Palantir. Yeah, there's the wick. Sorry. I just tried.
Oh, darn it.
Did you get it?
No. We got stopped out down there, but we're long at 09s, but I don't know if that's going to
What I was going to say there is Palantir is not a stock that just because it breaks 25, I think it's over with. It's the false break where you try to get back in on the way back up. And as I was chewing through that, I did try to punch on the way back through. I hit and missed at 5s. So it slammed 25. It got to like 90 something, 95. And I tried to get back in through. I won't chase it at 10s, but like Palantir breaking evens doesn't mean it's necessarily done. It goes 5 cents down and right back up. Oh, that was a good punch.
Yeah, we love some Palantir down there. Okay, so we're still long Palantir. We're long, though, at 09s. We're going to take a piece out. If we can get back up to the upside, we'll like that a lot right now. But you know what else we got? We got Amazon. Amazon came into our level, so now we have to wait for it. There goes Palantir. Nice trade back up to the upside. That sucks because it just didn't hold. So unfortunately, we did take a bigger position there and wound up losing on some of that. So that wasn't good there. But here we go. Maybe we can get a bump up even higher than this on Amazon right now. So I'm going to tie my shoe. But here we go. Amazon. I am long at 174. Where 174.20. So let's see if that works. Here comes Palantir right back in again, guys.
Yeah, 24.95 is the local bottom on Palantir. If it doesn't hold that, then I'm going to get out of Dodge. Apple's working back into the downside, so that's okay. I'll get to Alibaba. But Baba did break 74. That was a take it at 30, stop at 74, and I didn't have offers out until it broke the $0.50 and got to 75. So I was only looking for a big move or bust on Alibaba. But we've got numbers coming at 10 o'clock. So let's get to the desk with Adara for the economic numbers and what's happening now.
Waiting for these numbers here. Chief among them, Jolt's job openings expected 8.9 million. We just got these wholesale inventories month over month coming in negative 0.3%. Jolt's coming in here at 8.863 million. So the forecast 8.9 million, so slightly lower than expected here. Just waiting on the Jolt job quits numbers here as well. But we did get that wholesale inventories, as I said, negative 0.3%. So slightly lower than the forecast of negative 0.1%. We'll go back to check on the jobs quits in a second. Let's just see how the SPY is reacting here. Still pretty much about 0.5% to the upside. We did fall off a little bit after the open, but holding up pretty well here. 0.5% to the upside. We just got those Jolt quits and numbers coming in a little higher than expected. 3.385 million versus the expected 3.27 million. Other stocks moving in the market today. JD.com. JD is the ticker for this one. Still up about 15%. After announcing its earnings, beat across the board. They also announced an annual cash dividend and a share repurchase program, about $3 billion. So nice look here for JD. We also have Tesla down about 2.5% after getting a price target decrease here from Morgan Stanley from 345 to 320. This one's been pretty weak across the board, though, here this whole week for Tesla. Lots of stuff happening in this market today, guys, for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. We did get a dip. Thank you, Dara. We did get some nice dip buy opportunities in Roblox. So we're starting to ring some Reggies here as well as that tries to come up to the upside. We did not reload Palantir. It's still in the pocket. It's still fine. Amazon, we got nervous about. We did get that 174. So we got some out at like 174.15s, 174.16s, but we also got some out at 30s. So Amazon will be a positive name for us, but we are getting ready to break through that 174. So we have to be very, very careful. I mean, that's the thing. When numbers come out, they can change pretty much the whole dynamic of the whole market. So we're 50 cents in the money with a big banger for sure on Affirm. Like, look where Affirm's going right now, guys. This is a monster trade, actually, for us on AFRM. So let's take a piece out if we're able to down here. Did we just get it? Yes, we did. So we got a 58. I just punched 59s. So we got 59s right there. Let's see if that goes. But then it's also Roblox starting to scream upside as well. Let's go. What a day. Wow. Like, you never know where these days are coming from. And there it is, man. Roblox, Affirm. We knew about Palantir, but Target? I mean, some of these trades that we threw down today, again, kind of came out of nowhere. So good opportunities. We know we like to look at Roblox. We did identify this Amazon trade, but Amazon's breaking lower now. So watch out for some levels that we talked about yesterday, 173.80, I believe, for Amazon. But more work I got to do on this one as we've broken now back below. We're in a very small piece, but we're still in it, so we got to watch out.
Yeah, Apple's now, obviously, it's in the money on that number because sometimes that happens at 10 o'clock. We're short one name into it. Palantir, I've taken a bunch out. This is looking a little bit weak down here. If it cannot hold the bottom, Like I said I would only take it 3 times, and I still ended up getting in a 4th time. So that's kind of breaking a rule down there. So I'm not gonna add any more to Palantir. I'm just gonna stay away from it. If it bounces to VWAP, great, but I feel like this could be taking out that bottom, and we'll be happy to get what we get. Intel, I have not gotten back in. It is still, it's really, like, look at it go sideways off this level as the market flushes. That's a bit weird. That's just a little bit fancy, Intel. But AMD is still coming to the downside. Talk about of a reversal. AMD was so super strong. Now you're reversing back in. I liked 209. Maybe we get that 209. If Apple gets to 169, it held it once. If it holds it again, I'm going to respect 169 on Apple and just get out. Take the dollar and run, because that's been wild. And if you're looking at Crowdstrike or Palo Alto, first I was in Pandub, and thank goodness we took that bounce. Sometimes the best trades you can make, and I've done this before, like I get out and it goes to VWAP and it's like a $2 winner, could have been a $4 winner. But when I saw a bit of a turn on in CrowdStrike, I'm like, I'm getting out of Palo Alto. Palo Alto now down at $282. The only green candle is where I caught the bounce off of yesterday's low. That was your only possible long that was really gonna work. And PanW now down 3%. I got one short and it's working. I gotta be honest with you, that's not how I thought this morning was gonna go. But a green morning is a green one, even if I'm a bit surprised at the nature in which that it happened. Wow, PanW. Am I buying this again at some point?
It's down today, huh?
It's at 280.
Oh, it's back to 280?
280.
I don't know.
I'm a little. Microsoft is at.
I'll have to do some. I don't want to be
400
down here.
Oh boy,
guys. We've already talked about where my feeling is on buying names in these levels. Not high right now. Not high conviction for your boy down here. But I mean, again, good names are good names. We've talked about buying good names at good levels. So as far as what we're doing now is just day trading, but it's been a difficult ride if you've been short. Maybe today the shorts are winning. That is for sure. So there it is again. Well, I mean, Palantir tried again at 25, but like we said, sometimes good time to bail. And right now, Palantir is looking lower here. So there it goes, man. Look at the market really coming in now. There's 18,000. We said we could test 18,000. Well, we're doing that. And we're doing that pretty hardcore right now, as there's the one short that we have on that at least is printing a little bit here. That's going to be a firm, a little bit, printing a lot. Is this a firm trade? So we'll hold on to that one. Target's not really pulling back, so all good on that. It's actually going higher. And then Roblox is, so we just got into firm there. Roblox is trying to treat us fine, but that's firm. But we already got a great wick to the downside. Let's try to bid some more down there on Roblox and see if we're lucky enough to get some more near 39. But with this market falling in, I'm not super convinced that we are having.
It's falling down like LeBron if you breathe on him. That's what's happening.
Exactly, that is what's happening. That's a good analogy.
He's actually a very good flopper.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really good. He's very talented at it. If you get the call, who cares? Sean's already apologized for the wicks, but I have these bad wicks on every single one of these big cap tech names. So you can kind of see this is a 460-cent bottom on Microsoft. I put the $400 line in so you can see it better, and now I can zoom back in so you don't have to look at that. It broke 400. My first bid is out in front of 399 on the softy 400 break. If you're watching all afternoon, we're like, sort of keying on some big levels and stocks that we wanted to be able to trade off of, and Microsoft 400 was definitely one. Apple is breaking 169 apparently. Any second now, I got out already, but I might look to try to get. I know 164. I don't want to pull away from my Microsoft chart. I believe 164 is about the October low on Apple. I'm stink bidding in front of 165. I don't think we get it today, but this week suddenly looks like a possibility. So down goes the market, man. Yeah. Apparently, it's one of those types of days.
It's one of them days.
I'm surprised here. I'm surprised. Like somehow Palantir's at 24.80, and you could make money long. Like Crowdstrike, I was long PanW that has absolutely been tanking and was able to make money on that one. Microsoft is a new short through 400 that just got to 99 change and continues to the downside. Thankfully, even though I liked dip buys on AMD, we've talked about this before. If it never actually sets up, you don't have to do it. Now it's trying to bounce off 209. So this could look like a little bit of something, as there's going to be a lot of, I mean, with the Congress thing, there'll be a lot of grandstanding before they ask them questions. Like they like to talk and use up their minutes. So if anything important comes, obviously we'll get that to you. But hey, man,
that's accurate.
It's like LeBron flopping. They got to get their moment in there. That's part of the game. But 209 has bounced once on AMD. If it can hold a second time, fair enough. But I'm not loving longs underneath 18,000. Got to be real with you.
No, I'm not even trying to really look too long here at all.
I'm not short Intel.
We have our firm.
Fail.
Amazon's actually, so we'll be flat on Amazon. I wish we were up on it. But the thing is like, wondering if it is holding some of these levels again down here. It's a nice spike up in the market. I bet we are low though, so it's probably the best strategy right now to fade bump ups instead of trying to play the other way around.
Short
so
the
let's
pops.
try to figure out what's weak. Like well, we know Palantir's weak, so we could do that. Square, pretty strong. This is what's changing my mind.
Don't look at Coinbase.
Like I know Coinbase is getting hit. We were looking at this. I was looking to buy 75.50s, which has made me think, like, do we actually want to buy anything right now? So that's something that I'm looking at right now for Square would be those downside moves. So ARM has been a name that, yeah, that's a good call there. Someone in the chat, what's up to that? What's up?
It's
Dylan?
way too late for ARM.
134? It's only 1010.
No. What I meant is
The move? Well, yeah, but it could come
Yeah,
back.
the price
Yeah,
is there.
I mean, you'd have liked to get it at 139 there, but yeah, back into 136. I think for ARM is pretty decent if that does go. We're almost $1 in the money on the Affirm short, so that's really paying out. Roblox is doing fine as well. But yeah, we'll have to wait to see what wants to hit here or not. Palantir just keeps getting hit to the downside. By the way.
I cannot believe I didn't get into Intel there.
To maybe look for a better long here on Palantir because I think there has to be one.
I did a lesson of the day on anchoring, and sometimes you get anchored to your first initial entry and you do not see the forest for the trees. And someone was yelling in the chat, look at what's happening at 44, and I was still trying to get this fill here above 44, and you even heard me say it. And what was happening at 44 was just an iceberg at the even dollar. If you like the short, you could just punch short 99s or 98s. That's an easy trade, and it already goes down to 43.50. That's a 10% move just because someone was holding the offer. So shout out to whoever it was in the chat that was yelling. It was Timon.
What's up, Timon?
Timon, that was me with Intel. Yeah, man, that's great. I mean, I'm happy for you, but I should be mad at myself for that, which I actually am. I'm only in Microsoft short, and if Apple bounces, we got to short more Apple too. Intel into VWAP, Apple into VWAP. We'll short. Maybe AMD off 209 is starting to look something like it could be a thing because there's one bounce off 209.25. But if it comes in here and bounces again, that's good enough. Want to make sure we limit the risk on longs here.
Yeah, I'm starting to get some out here. We're 30 cents in the money on Palantir, so let's take that out. We didn't get that dip buy. We are taking some more out here. We talked about trying to find that long in Palantir. Maybe we found it right here. So now we're long in Palantir, man. We're long at 71s. Let's see how far we want to go back up to the upside. I'm going to get something out at 25 now. That's where my next offer is. So we'll put something there. See if we get a 25 short, and then if it wants to continue into highs, then we can get there. But like $26, like that seems like so long ago on Palantir, to be honest with you. So
20 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just, like now it's at 24.70.
Trading is wild. Like that.
Trading is wild. We punched out some more Affirm down there, so we are pretty light on this one. We only have less than 20% of that right now. But Roblox is a good one to the upside. Like we said, a green day is a good day, so that's what we're doing right now. But it hasn't been an easy day, so I think you got to think about that as well. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. Trying to make some money back there on Palantir really is the only trade that I have on. Roblox is relatively light, but still in the pocket and target. We're already waiting for that 174 to break. So maybe we can get an out if we get back up to 175.50. Maybe we'll put an offer there.
Oh, no way. I knew I forgot something. New York City Bancorp, NYCB, at the $3 level. We had talked about this finding a bottom yesterday. So there you go. Double bottom. We look for these things when they quadring to the downside, double bottom, and then look for a higher low to hold. There's the afternoon higher low, oddly enough, at $3. What happened? It wicked the $3 level and is coming back in. Maybe we get lucky This local bottom's 289, 299, so I can literally stop out under it and just throw a little stink bid in front of $3. And if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I don't. No, that's not, no way. What the heck? Okay, I must have misplaced a stop to have gotten in and out flat on AMD. Oh, I know what it was.
Oh, AMD's all the way down there.
No. I had to stop in case I had gone long 212. And it was so the second I got into position, I got out. That's so stupid. You just basically pay the fees. But AMD's trying to bounce off of 209. I'll explain that after I get these orders out here on AMD. We have stop orders that we can put out before we are in position. But if you leave it in there, and it's up here where I'm like, oh, I'm going to stop out down here. If I take that long, then you don't take that long, well, you've got to stop at like 211.50. And if you get long at 209, you just punch out right away. So basically punch long. It went in the money like a cent, and it instantly punched me out. I'm back into it. I'll give it to the local bottom on AMD, which is just underneath this 209. It's hard to see because my fills are blocking it, but just underneath that 209. This is the level that we wanted long on AMD, and we waited till it got down here. If we get a bounce, great, as I still haven't even seen Powell just yet, but we'll keep our ears to the ground. We're underneath 18,000, so I'm scalping into this lower high in 210.60 if we can even get that. Microsoft is holding 99s for now. That's about $1 in the money, but we're looking for our first bounce play on AMD of the day.
All right, yeah, I like that long there on AMD. We'll see what happens there off 209 coming through right now. Yeah, I'm trying to find some more trades here. So, you know, we can look at Amazon. I just saw someone talk about Amazon down there at 1. If there any names you guys want us to look at, I mean, there probably is lots. Amazon new support down at 173. I mean, right now it's 173.50 right now for Amazon. So we'll have to wait. By the way, Affirm's making new lows right now.
Tesla broke
down
75.
80 cents. Oh, Tesla broke 75, so that would have been another.
Well, that was a while ago.
That would have been another. Shoot, that would have been another play to look at.
Oh, shoot.
All right. Okay, so that's a nice play for obviously on AMD because I just got short right here near 210. So we'll see if that one wants to come through again. I was just going to hold this to 210.50. Like I just thought, you know.
That's where I'm covering.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's good. So I think that that's a good spot right there, 210.50. Let's wait to see if we can get up there. Could easily do that. We are now short at 209.95 right now on this one, up to 210.50. So let's see how far this one wants to go. We'll take some more here, but you guys know where my stop is, 210.50. Probably wrong to short AMD. There's no doubt about that. But we thought that we were going to look for some shorts as we head into 18,000, but we are now getting a bump up into 18,000. Palantir is really working for the long, so as we kind of get squeezed out maybe of AMD, let's just squeeze out some profit on Palantir. It kind of sucks because as Palantir goes up, so does AMD. So we're kind of like winning on one, losing on another right now, but we'll take Palantir for the long right here, get some out, as we do have shares down at 71. So here we go. Now we've got some AMD seriousness as it's coming in, coming up for AMD. Let's just start hitting keys like
sellers
a
at the quarters
and start to get it. Yes, 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 yes. Bang! That's a big money trade right there for AMD. As we just had some nice trades. We're short right at that quarter mark, Neil. So that was a good one. Boom goes the dynamite. AMD, boom, right there. Nice trade for the long on Neil. And we just had a great short put in there. Yes, sir. All right. That's a day saver right there for me on that short for AMD.
Yeah, I looked 1025 was a big seller that came in at that price. This is 1050. These
Wow.
wicks are
Look at this
ridiculous.
thing go now.
But there were sellers right in the quarters. I was sitting like 10 cents higher. The second I saw it, I just jumped out. The market's bouncing back through 18, but I still feel like it can be a bit of a fade. I actually just reloaded Microsoft at the 400 level. So Microsoft was down at 398.5 and then just popped right back into the 400. If this breaks out from here, you could see VWAP. So I'm not going to give this a wide berth, especially with Papa Powell around. If it gets to VWAP, it's a different story. So we'll kind of keep it close to the vest. I know that must mean Apple's coming in here. I have a stop already. No, it's not. Apple is nowhere even near VWAP. What's going on here? Come on, give me VWAP on Apple. Want to be patient. 169.80 is where we should be starting this. I want short Intel. This might not even be VWAP. It'll be off a lower high. That'll be 43.80. So consolidation level at the open, 43.80. Consolidation underneath. Short that one into VWAP as well. So I found myself only short. AMD, I'm going to check back in on it. If it gets down to 209, it's still a trend down stock. One in at that 209, we should just be happy that it worked the way this market has been fading back in.
So I just saw what's up to Cathie there in the chat, and she said, Sean, thank you so much for the coin trade. So I'm like, okay, let's go find out what's going on with the coin trade, right? So you could see here 232, 234, the tops. That's exactly what we talked about. Coin short 235. Do you know what the high of the day on coin is? 235.04. So that right there was nailed. And again, this is my problem. Not on it, but there's coin right there, 235, giving you, Cathie, a money trade. Shout out. Hopefully you guys are able to get that on the sticky note. But there it was right there, 235. Not only did it come in once, twice, I mean, it came in a whole bunch of times up there at 235. So great trading there. Thank you for checking out the sticky note. Cathie, that does mean a lot to me. So thank you for that. But yeah, there it goes. Go find that. Go find out what's going on with sticky note. All right, we do have a 20-cent move right there. So that means Fed pivot, by the way. So there he is on the board right there. And here goes AMD. We just got a 60 fill right there on that move in. So yeah, man, we'll just take 60 cents the other way. Palantir going to fade out again. You know, with Powell talking now, we don't know what's going to happen. We have it up on the screen. You could read it along if you go as well. That should probably maybe even be up on more Trader TV Live. But there it goes.
We've been talking. It's actually one of the things that we were looking to add. I don't know if we've got that ready just yet, though. Like that screen that has the charts, like having something live on there. But I reloaded on two things, Intel and Microsoft. At the 400 Microsoft, I'm going to get some out of front of 399 because that's how it rolls. If we get to 99 and break it, I want to see if I can hold on for dear life. The positions have been pretty good on that channel, but I just realized I wasn't logged in. So I'm going to log myself in to More Trader TV, make sure those positions, if you're following the second channel, are correct. But you should be here on the main show anyways.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's $1.
Apple, it's going to get down into those lows. I think the shorts are on at this point. If we break 18,000, the floodgates could open up. So short back into Intel, short back into Microsoft. Those have been the ones that have worked all morning.
Yeah, there's the dollar on AMD. So wow, again, for advanced micro devices. We actually talked about that 1050 area. You know, so it came right in and it faded out perfectly. So there it is right now. I did want to check out DWAC quickly because, okay, we talked about this yesterday. Obviously a clear, decisive decision point yesterday, giving Donald Trump California and Texas and all that. So
I mean, all of them except for
Vermont.
Vermont, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's DWAC. Just checking on the temperature. It's down 6%. It's not really doing too much there for DWAC. Here we go. Okay, so nice little bump, a little bit of a bump up here for Palantir. We'll take every single bump up. We'll take some pieces out here for PLTR as we start to make a little bit back now on this name. It has not been a great name for your boy to go long there, but we'll take a long there off 50, and now we'll wait to see what happens with everyone's favorite AI name, except for today, Palantir. We'll see how far it goes up to the upside. We're getting close to ringing some more registers, though. We let this go, man. We really let AMD get all the way to the bottom. We only had 10% left. We felt pretty lucky to get this fill down there at 60. You heard me make a little bit of a to-do about that. Okay, here comes Palantir right back up. We're starting to cash more out. Maybe we've climbed from here. Powell's there. So again, prepared testimony. He's going to take some questions, obviously. Prepared speech, I guess, is what he's reading right now that we already know about. And then we'll hear about some of the questions. But he's just going to stay the course. So I expect whatever sort of is being said now, he's just going to be there. So target right now, guys, by the way, is 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 winner there on target. So there it goes. And AMD, man, this is still one of my top stocks, even though it takes those out. But that puts a smile on this guy's face because it is Palantir, and it is Palantir to the rescue right now as we ride this guy. Oh, it doesn't sound good. All the way to the upside right now. Affirm also, nice downside move. We've already taken some out here. Maybe we reload down there on AMD, but we're going to go over to the small cap recap with Miss Adara.
Sorry about that. We did just have Fed Chairman Powell finish his prepared remarks here. We also have the IWM curling down a little bit here, finding a bit in area resistance, but still up on the day. In terms of individual movers, Rail Vision, RVSN, this one has run in the past. Right now, running after announcing the first commercial installation of its AI-driven mainline system in National Railways line. They do have a float of about 2.65 million shares. We also have this one, Beyond Spring, BYSI, no catalyst on this one, up about 25%. Float of just under 30 million shares, so not a particularly small float, but there has been a lot of social media discussion on this name, BYSI, this morning. Last but not least, Data Nexus, DADA. In January, they announced an internal audit. The procedures, the stock went way down in the response of that. The audit, they have some updates from the audit now, including the idea that some of the management doesn't look like was involved in any of the deals under question. So nice move up here for DADA, guys.
Dada. That's what it sounds like if I hit the Dada key, but I don't have it.
Oh, I have it. Where is it? Dada.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, well, you guys heard it.
They heard it.
We didn't get to hear. Usually it's in my ear. That's how the effects work. But keeping it tight to the vest as long as Powell's on. I said this was going to be the way I want to trade, and it's worked out pretty well today. I mean, Alibaba, I'll get to that in a second. It kind of sucked. But I thought we'd get the VWAP here. But we break out that local high. I get out of the Microsoft trade. I don't want to be fighting anything today. Not when Papa Pump is on the bell, as we see him right there. So I got the reload into Intel. If it gets down into the 60s, we'll take some out. 43.50 has been a pretty good support level on this stock. There was a good consolidation off that level yesterday, and then there was some support the last couple of days. So if we get to there, we're going to take some out. I just saw NVIDIA back underneath 880. The Wix, is this better? It's a little bit better. 880 in VWAP. It's trying to climb here. If this fails back underneath, I might just, I'm starting to think, should I just be punching AMD? Like early on, AMD was stronger than NVIDIA. Now AMD is it's under VWAP. It's a little bit weaker. I've only had the long trade. 1 for 1. But NVIDIA losing 880 is a pretty big deal. I want ARM short as well. I think the 135 is setting up. Maybe that's the better level, is 135. This is weaker than all of them put together, is ARM at the 135. Yeah, that should be the one.
All right, we shorted AMD, so we're 35 cents back in the money on this one. I don't have a bid till 209.50, so let's go. We got stopped out there, but that was not, like I said, AMD is still one of my top stocks, and we just got involved with it. Affirm continues to be a good one, obviously, as we continue to ride with that. We did get out of, honestly, 75% or so. There it is. There it is. Remember we talked about how you trade? This is, sometimes when this market's getting aggressive like this is the action that you can have right now on a day like today. So there it goes, man. We just put that trade on just a couple, literally 2 minutes ago at 210.25. We just got 209.50, and we called. Like we said, we were looking for that level. We did get out of some Palantir. We were able to get a 50 fill, and then it ran into the 80s. So that's a bunch of outs. I'm actually going to get some more out right now at 70 if we can. We're still holding half of our AMD, so this could still be a losing trade. If this comes right back up, that's fine, but we're going to wait to see if AMD just takes it out. We're at the day's low right now. Why don't we want to break through 209? I feel like that could be something that happens right now. So that's a good trade there. $1 in the money there on Affirm and AMD. Looks like they're going to try to get there. Palantir is blasting upside again. So again, just in little faith with this name today, it hasn't traded exactly the way I thought it would. We'll get some more out there. Target's still 450 in the money. Roblox dancing with a couple dimes. And then we'll go over to the desk with Adara.
Yeah, we just have some comments here coming out of that Q&A with Fed Chair Powell right now in the congressional testimony, saying that rate cuts will depend on the path of the economy and that incoming data will determine when the rate cuts start. They have some confidence right now that inflation is going down, but they'd like to have a little bit more data so they can be more confident. So just some comments here coming from Fed's Powell, guys.
There you go, and you can definitely check that out on the More Trader TV channel as well. You get the nice picture-in-picture. So if you want to follow it, you've got the position boards, you've got breaking news, you've got the calendar. Just check out More Trader TV Live, and you get your dashboard locked and loaded and ready to go, and the grandstanding always continues. I feel like if you time the amount of time Powell is speaking versus other people, you'll find some interesting statistics there. Uber, this is a good short yesterday, but I just saw if we break 18,000, failure through 80 on Uber. It failed 82 2 days ago. It failed 81 yesterday. It failed a breakout at 80 today. Short back into 80. I'm on the offer of Apple and Microsoft to reload, and I'm gonna get a reload in Intel, hopefully any second now. But I now like Uber. We'll jump back to something, again, that just worked yesterday. If I'm looking for shorts, because I only had a couple of short ideas today, then I want to jump into something that was a good short yesterday if I can. So we're looking for the reload in Intel back into this 43.80. And VWAP, it also happens to be VWAP on a 3-minute chart. This is my 15-minute on Intel.
So AMD just went down to 208.50. So giving us almost $2 there. Let's see where it wants to go. Palantir made a little bit of a jaunt down as well, and now right back up. I'm just going to wait for 25s now. That high is like 90. Do I have an offer at 90? Yeah, I do. So I'm going to wait here for 90 on PLTR. Let's see if the move does want to continue to go to the high side. I mean, we would really love a move higher now. I don't have that many shares in AMD because I was waiting for violence on this name. We got it. We got $2 there in 4 minutes. Let's see if we get some more violence coming through now. All right, so there's a nice move for Palantir. It looks like that only goes to 85. So we're just going to go to 85 now and then cancel 24.90. See if we get that one. Check on the temperature of Disney as well. Wow. Okay. Yesterday, again, I sold some of this, and I was like, I don't know if I should have, but Disney, we sold yesterday. Remember, I talked about this at 212.30 or whatever it was, or 212.60. I was feeling bad when we went up to 115, but there it is, Disney today getting clapped all the way to the downside. Something's going on here because we're making some cash. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's Palantir right now. Little bit of diamond hands. We'll see if we can hold this all the way back to the upside. What's up, Adara?
We do have crypto as well, but we also have numbers. We just got in these EIA crude oil stock exchange coming in at 1.367 million, so a little bit lower than the consensus of 2.116 million. EIA gasoline stock exchange coming in also a bit lower than expected here, so negative 4.4 million, 4.46 million versus the consensus of negative 1.64 million. Also worth noting, currently being discussed in this Q&A and the congressional testimony right now is the Capital One Discover financial merger, so worth noting about that as well. But in terms of crypto, we did have this interesting CoinGlass data showing here that there was $1 billion in crypto liquidations triggered by that move down here from Bitcoin. So we saw yesterday, Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs above that 69,000 and falling 10%. Liquidations from that hitting about $1 billion. So really interesting to note here as well. We do have that move back now. We've been kind of chopping and churning here. We hit above that 69,000. We were a little bit above 67,000 earlier. Now we're around 60, just above 66,000 here from what I'm seeing. 66.5 right now for BTC. Ethereum was a little bit stronger earlier. Now we're just below that 3,800 level. BNB up about 1.3%. Solana down about 6.3%. Cardano down 5%. Ripple down 6%, mostly to the downside here with the exception of BNB and Ethereum. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Benzinga Pro. You can sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with code TTV, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout.
I feel like NVIDIA wants all the smoke right now. Like NVIDIA, forget about it. Like it broke that 880. Now it's holding above VWAP as the market tries to hang on to that $18,000 level. We'll see what happens. Intel back up. If it gets to 44, that was where the iceberg was before, so we'll respect it. Apple could get to the 170. We're doing the same thing. Start at the half and see if we can't get a curl off 70s. But if NVIDIA bounces off VWAP here and 18,000 holds, this is about the only thing I'm looking at that sets up for any kind of a long trade. I did just get into Uber as well. We were just mentioning Uber back into VWAP. It's got lower highs into it, so as long as it puts in, or I should say holds this lower high, not puts in. It already put in the lower high. As long as it holds that lower high, we're going to go into Uber for the first time today. It was one of the better shorts for me in the afternoon. I know Sean had it as well, but it was one of those better ones. Palantir finally starting to bounce. I picked my spots with Palantir. I like 25.5, so I bought 25.5. I did take one reload off of this double bottom, and then I waited for 25 even. Now, if it can hold 25 on the bid, I think it's got a chance, but support can turn into resistance. If this does not break out past 25, I don't want to be looking for the longs until it's holding above. So I feel the new position is Uber, NVIDIA. If I take a long trade, I feel like this is going to be the one as it's trying to hold this 880. And if you're following along with the future, I'm talking about the Nasdaq here, it was all shorts right away. I mean, the longs very briefly early, but it was all shorts, but we are now bouncing off 18,000. If you don't think 18,000 hasn't mattered, then look what happened overnight. Look at that rally yesterday into 18,000 resistance there, turning into support. So you got to find some long trades, the longer 18,000 holds. For me, that looks like it's going to be NVIDIA. You guys let me know what else is rallying, looking strong. Tesla's at VWAP. Roblox is going on. I have a catalyst for Roblox. I haven't really looked into it much, but I do like this NVIDIA here off of 880. So I'm going to get myself on the bid, see if I can't catch something at 881. Only want to give this one a couple of shekels into VWAP. If it breaks it out, great. This market is absolutely rallying at this point. Apple's at that 170, so I do have to get over to that one in a quick second, but I don't want to miss out on NVIDIA. So I'm over at a level 2 on Apple, but I want to make sure I can capture NVIDIA here as well, because I want something to the long side.
Wow. Yeah, come back to a blasting market. And we were just actually talking with Patrick. We got a coffee. We're actually talking with Patrick in the kitchen. There with Sharif. And he was talking about how he had that short on Palantir up here at 26.20-ish. Got out for about 20 or 30 cents and is ringing the register on that. And he's like, man, Sean, you know, it's your conviction. I'm like, conviction? I was going long. And I said, all you have to do is stick with what you believe is your trade, not what Sean says, not what Neil says, nothing like that. You take the trade that you want to take, and you put the amount of risk in there and ring the register when it's fit. So, good trade there for Patrick. All right, so Palantir now still going. We should take a piece out now that we sit back down here and watch out for this. So there it goes, Palantir up through. There it is. Okay, good. So we get that. So we got no 2 fill there. So that's a nice trade there for Palantir. Great battle back on this name for sure. All right, so AMD comes out. So AMD is still going to be a green name, but we just got thrown around on that one a little bit because it just came back up. But look at the stop out. Like we just got short right here. 80s, out O's. So not a bad out as the market touches back into VWAP. I think this is probably worth a reshort somewhere around here. So we'll try to reshort this a little bit as we just noticed the market back at VWAP.
Flying.
And AMD is?
No, NVIDIA.
Yeah,
NVIDIA,
so that's, I know. So I'm in NVIDIA now. I'm in AMD, sorry. So we're going to have to watch out to see if this one wants to fly as well. I'm just noticing now where VWAP is. It's actually a little bit higher. So we got to watch out for 211.50 coming in right now. Do not stand in front of a freight train, man. Like we're testing this and it's not working. AMD can drop. We saw it drop $2 in 5 minutes for us. So watch out for this trade coming through. It's AMD right now, trying to be, again, that widowmaker upside here for those of us shorting it.
Yeah, I missed NVIDIA there. No questions asked. I tried to grab that long. It just broke out the 85 level. Now at 86. I don't want to chase it. Intel is now through 44, so we just jumped out of that one. Apple's holding 170, so that's the only thing that held, as the positions are probably updating as I go.
Sharif?
But wow-a-wee-wa, NVIDIA. That's super, super strong. Palantir failed 25.
Down.
Okay. If it failed 25, I'm going the other way on Palantir.
Bang, 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 bang. AMD, there it is. We sit back down and the magic just keeps on happening. Nice move to the downside. We could still lose on it, like we said. We're just having fun here with AMD again. Palantir's out. Let's see how far down AMD goes. We're already out of half. We just got filled there at the 50-period moving average. So we'll take that, man. We're going to be short here on AMD, and then we're just going to see how far it wants to go down. Let's take another fill in the 80s here if we can. This name is just violent. Like I'm going to put another bid at 210.50 in case we get real low down into those levels. We'll put another bid down there. Again, still expecting to get stopped out of these shorts, honestly. But I want to hold something for the bigger move. So still a very positive name for us, but again, willing to go red on this if we take out 211.50 right now. We just bounced, and sometimes we put on the reload, and again, it has to be for a reason. like the market was right there. If there was a chance the market was going to blast back down into the downside off VWAP, so that's where and why we take this reload. It's really nothing else. If it was up here, I don't think we would have reloaded AMD because then we wouldn't have had sort of that juice to get loose. And there it is right there, man. That is now 30 cents. We'll just take another 30-cent winner. So now with our target being 211.50 and we are now out of 65% of this trade, it's now house money. And we like playing with house money. So, oh, wow, here comes the move. We're actually bidding 57s right now on AMD. So let's go, man. The dream is still alive to the short side if you are trading. Dream's still alive. We just put this on its head right there. We'll drop AMD into the 30s right there. Let's get down into the dollar club area here for AMD, and let's take out some more Palantir as we are dancing in Palantir for 45 cents. 45-cent winner on Palantir, a buck and change on AMD, and we just sat back down. That was a good coffee reload. Got to talk to Sharif, got to talk to my guy Patrick over there, and we come back and put damage on the board.
Yeah, back into Apple off of VWAP. That's also pulled back in. I got out of Intel when it broke the top. Keep it tight to the vest, man. I don't want to be fighting any stocks today. I'm not going to do it. We said don't fight any trends, so I'm going to stay away from it, especially on a Powell day. I think that's incredibly important. So stick to what has worked. NVIDIA, if I get a dip buy, it might have to. I still like the 880 into VWAP. This is definitely trending up. It's a heck of a lot stronger than all the other names. I have a bid Apple in front of 50s. It's down at the 62. Where am I bidding? Why am I bidding exactly at 69.50? I never do that. I'm just going to move it to like 55 or something. Let's go to Sector Watch with Adara.
Ooh.
Lots of green here across the board. A couple exceptions. We have some Adobe and Google weakness here in technology services. And of course, Tesla to the downside for the third day in a row now here in consumer durables, this time after a price target decrease. But generally pretty strong across the board here. We have a lot of strength in energy minerals getting a spike after the spike in crude oil pricing that we just got. A lot of strength here with these chips again in electronic technology ahead of Broadcom and Marvell earnings tomorrow after close. Stay tuned for those for sure. Finance strong, health technology strong. Producer manufacturing pretty much great across the board here. Same with commercial services, health services, utilities, consumer non-durables. A little bit more mixed look in retail trade here with some of these retail earnings we're getting this week as well. Home Depot a little bit to the downside today, but generally across the board, lots of green to see here on a very exciting day for the markets, guys.
And you know what else? It's Whopper Wednesday, according to Burger King, that just flew.
They have Whopper Wednesday? I never. Is that a new thing?
Whopper Wednesday? I don't know. I just saw it. I have every time, like when we're traveling around, if we ever go somewhere it's fast food, I download the app because you get like good deals on the app. So I don't remember actually the last time we went to Burger King.
I don't think I've even heard of
something. I don't know either, but it just popped up. I must have notifications on. It said "Welcome to Whopper Wednesday" or something.
If it is new, it's kind of stupid that they wouldn't have been doing that for years because it's sort of obvious.
Makes sense, right? Like grab a Whopper for like. I have no idea.
I ate so many. My brother went to school in Florida.
How much do you think a Whopper comes?
And I ate so many Whoppers in Florida in the summers when I was down there with my brother. It was ridiculous. I can't even touch those things anymore. You know when you eat so much of a food that you just don't even like it? That was me.
You know when you drink too much tequila? And then you can't even smell it anymore?
I'm not a tequila guy.
Yeah. I actually really like tequila.
No, it has to. Only if it's good. Like I cannot drink regular tequila. I just can't.
I don't have any money to drink good stuff.
No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of tequila. Give me bourbon, rum. That's my thing. Microsoft. I missed Microsoft at 401. I knew there was something I was forgetting about, and it was Microsoft. Microsoft down 0.6%, market up. This is still relatively weak. If it gets back into the 401, we'll grab it. We are still short Apple in there, but I do want some softy if we can get it. I'm throwing a stop at VWAP, and then the next available pop, we will get that. That didn't intend to rhyme that one, but I like this one to the short side still. It looks like it's going to be a good one.
Bye. I'm not bidding AMD until 209. So right now, $1.40 in the money. So far today, if you're following, man, target is 450 in the money, and we've gone much higher than that. I'm debating getting out if we break below 50s right now. Let's just switch that. We were going to get out at 174. Let's just get out at 174.50 break. So we'll just do that, man, today again. This is going to be a monster day. Palantir is absolutely going right now into the 20s. Let's take another piece out right now if we can. There we go. We will get it in immediately. So there it goes again for another one there on Palantir today. So here we go. Nice little upside move for PLTR. We talked about this one not being done, and we could be able to try to catch a bottom there in PLTR. So I feel like we did that. Good trade back in Palantir. All right, AMD. You know, I don't have a problem getting greedy on this trade. You know, like that was just $1.30 in the money and we didn't take it. So it's kind of like we should stick with what we think. I mean, what if this does come into 209 right now? You know, here it comes crashing in right now into this level. Let's see if it wants to get it to us. So we're bidding right now 209.30s, 209.20s. So this can fall in. I mean, I'm debating it right now, honestly. I'm debating this right now to take this. This is a nice drop. All right, I'm taking some. Boom, right there. We'll take that out right now. Face slap around again right now. Nice out for us. That's $1.80 right there as the airplane comes in on that trade right now. Drops it right on whoever that guy's head is right there in Congress there. This guy's talking about margin. This guy doesn't know what margin is. But anyways, there it goes right now. I might need some more margin after some of these plays. That's a good one right there for a nice downside move. Palantir is here as well. We just took that out. Yeah, I mean, today's a good day, man. It's only 10:44. And if you were wondering what's for lunch, well, then you're like me too, because I don't know what's for lunch. Oh, it just came in. Let's go right now. This came in 16 minutes ago. In a day that will be a trophy day, let's see what is for lunch here today. Ooh, my favorite food group. Randy? Where is that guy? Sandwiches. You know, I know it's not really a food group. It is a food group. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, screw it, it is. Okay, wait a second. What just happened there? Did Target just come out there? Oh no, we got Roblox for another 30 cents. Props up. Where's that Roblox sound? Ugh. All right, sandwiches. All right, let's go. Let's do this again. All right. Welcome to a trading show where we will discuss what is for lunch in just a couple minutes. There goes Target back in. Target, the #1 name right there. I can't even do this, but we'll go props up for Target again for anybody following in the pre-market. We talked about Target. That just came out for $4.50 right there in the money. So that was a good trade there for Target. All right, what's for lunch today as I continue to watch this, as AMD is really starting to go to the downside and Palantir is starting to wake the you-know-what up right here for that. But what's for lunch, right? Okay, grilled pea meal, tomato, and aged cheddar sandwiches. Yeah, you have to. I told you it was just sandwiches there. But grilled pea meal bacon, so
I like
Canadian bacon, back bacon, you know, depending on how you're calling it there. Tomato and so I like the tomato. I'm down with that. Aged cheddar, I'm down. Artisan cheese buns. I'm not a huge fan of cheese buns, but okay. With herbed wedged potatoes. So I feel like that's definitely a classic sandwich combo there. And I think that's pretty good. So people around here should be pretty happy. And I was a happy fellow yesterday because it was tuna on top of the salad.
I don't mind the tuna.
Yes, and whenever tuna is the best topper they have, I would think. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll agree. When we get the salad, we typically get like a tuna salad, egg salad. I do like the egg salad as well. So it's probably
same.
No, I'd say it's even. If I'm being honest, I'd go like 50. I don't care which one you get, as long as you don't get the sandwich meat, which
the sandwich meat is the worst.
I got issues with like putting sandwich meat on top of a salad is not really all that appetizing to me. That said, here is the bounce. I mean, one's gonna win and one's gonna lose, so we'll see what happens with Microsoft. Probably gonna break that one. But NVIDIA bounced off 880. We said wait for a bounce off 880. They broke back up through 82s. The local high is at 84, which I'm looking to get right now. The futures are at resistance. Gimme always gets. The futures are at the resistance level, so I want to play inside of the range if we can. But as that worked, Microsoft just took out the 01s as well. So we get into NVIDIA for the first time today. I said I'm looking for long NVIDIA. off 880, allow it to happen, get in, get out, and sort of Bob is your uncle there. There's a lot of questions about Tesla, and I've looked at it once today. And when I looked at it, it was going back through 175. I can't believe I missed this stock getting to 175 bucks because, let's be real, this is the February bottom was 175. So we kind of missed this wicking the bottom at 175 and rallying. That is a good turn spot. And that said, it's at VWAP and it's resistance and all that good stuff. So 178, if you can't get through that, it's still a bit of a trend down stock. And the market is at that resistance spot. I don't think we're going to get back into, oh, wait a minute, what happened to ARM? Okay, ARM's at VWAP right now. All right, ARM's at VWAP. So I was about to look at a couple of other things for VWAP trades. I was talking about Tesla potentially at resistance, but it looks like
it broke 175.
It broke 175 down.
Jeez.
That's that bottom on the daily chart, and then it regained it. But yeah, I'm looking at ARM right now at VWAP. So once it's back underneath 136, I'm going to look for the short on ARM. The lockup, by the way, expires a week yesterday. So the lockup expiration is on Tuesday.
And everybody, just wanted everybody to know that this portion of the show is brought to you by Collective Mining. If you come see the chart here, this is drilling high-grade targets in Colombia with results including 519 meters at 2.7 grams per ton gold equivalent. Nice little move up here for CNL. So go check these guys out. Collective Mining in Colombia. So that's the name of the company. CNL, over here on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Up 2% today. Collective Mining, high-grade targets in Colombia. So that's a good little bump up there. Now taking some of these out. You know, we have Rahim Alani on the show a couple times talking about drill targets and different ideas. But here we go. CNL, another one breaking out through 420 with a nice base there. So we'll see where that goes from here. But CNL, not too much volume.
Did you say 420?
But yeah. Maybe that's a good little base there. We'll see on that one. But all right.
Traders love that level.
Someone said the other day that, I forget, I think it must have been when we were talking about crypto. They said something like the high was going to be 69,420 or something like that. And I was like, what? And then I clued in like, duh. You know, like,
you know what? I did something like that
levels.
with my stink bid in Apple.
Look at it, Palantir. Right, exactly.
I do stupid stuff like that all the time. Like I think I stunk bid Apple at like 60, 66, 69 or something like that. I'd have to double check and look at it. By the way, NVIDIA is still going to the upside.
All these stocks, man.
Yeah, now you're absolutely flying. Let's go to Adara for some money talks.
Ooh.
Maybe ARM is not a short here.
Free fall here for the USD in a day with a lot of economic data, Fed speak, and comments from Fed Chair Powell currently giving testimony here in front of the Congress, basically saying that there's no evidence or reason to think that the economy is at the risk of a short-term recession right now. Those comments just coming out from him, but also a lot of just saying that we need to wait for economic data to know when and how much or how many times to cut. Coming out here as well. We did get data earlier as well. USA job jolts opening coming in slightly higher than the expectations here. So 8.863 million versus 8.8 million estimate, but lower than the previous of 8.889 million. We also got wholesale inventory numbers for January. These ones coming in lower than the estimate. So negative 0.3 versus negative 0.1 expected. Later today as well, we do have Fed's daily and Kashkari speaking. So stay tuned for that as well heading into the afternoon. Again, lots of data and Fed speak on the horizon. Also worth noting, the Canadian dollar to USD relationship, Canadian dollar spiking way up against the USD here with a Bank of Canada governor just coming out in here and saying that they're not really optimistic that we'll even get below a 2% inflation here, get down to 2% within the year of 2024. So some sentiments here coming out of the Bank of Canada, bringing CAD to USD to the upside, guys.
I guess we'll just take 50 cents right there on this one. I mean, that was again, like there's just these little hidden trades that I feel really blessed to be able to do. You know, like we just shorted AMD. We just talked about that at 211. We'll take it out at 210.50. You know, it's like you just look down. And I was actually at 210.20s down here near the 50-period moving average, but it just went in the money so fast that I just put a bid, enter, and execute it, right? So Today, I have, for example, 230 fills. 230 fills. My fees are $20. So, like, we get, like, when I put a bid there on Nasdaq, it's very small, but it's $2 per 1,000 shares. So, if I just bid out of 100 shares there, it doesn't cost me anything. Actually, that might cost me something because you got to pay SEC fees and clearing and all that. But generally speaking, a small little punch out like that, you'll get 20 cents, and so it'll basically be free. So if that's what you're doing, that makes trading a lot easier. If you have to pay, you only have 100 shares, let's just say, and you just made $50. Like you shorted it here at 211 with me, and you got out for 50 cents with me, and you have to pay $4.99 a trade or something like that. It's not going to be it'll be profitable, but you're giving a lot back. So that's something to always consider, I feel like, when you're looking at how we're trading and potentially how your guys are going to be trading. But like Palantir is back in almost now $1 in the money off that bottom. So some of these trades are holding trades, right? $5 on target. I mean, if anybody had that in mind, that was a risky trade. That's why we had to hold for big moves, because we took the risk in the pre-market and we're going to take $1.50 worth of risk. We talked about getting out at 69. So that was well worth it. Even on small, can you believe it? The number one P&L stock here on the show is going to be Target. And this is one that was small shares taken at 907. So it's like sometimes you don't know where these trades are going to come from. And I'm just impressed with what Palantir's doing, by the way. Just wish we had held the whole boat. I guess I didn't believe in it that much. Palantir ripping here.
I mean, yeah, Palantir, I still see a chart that looks like it only recently broke the trend 20 minutes ago on Palantir. So like that whole, Palantir loves to do this. The stronger it is at 9 o'clock or like 9:20 or into the open, generally speaking, especially when it gaps up and it's double digits or close to double digits, it feels like you get that sell off and you gotta be really, really patient. Neo does that all the time. We've talked about that. We've seen Alibaba do that a lot. I'm now, for the first time, I'm in the ARM off of 137. Like we just got up to 137. Can we come to my chart? It's not Ram. Sorry, Fabian is on the chart there. But we just got into 137, did this wick shimmy. It got down to the half. I didn't take it, and now it's going to retest those highs. If it breaks out the highs, I'm going to jump out of the trade. I've been doing this all morning, where I'm going to take a small hit. If it goes past the stop, not going to fight it. Do not want to be fighting a trend. We're back above 18,000 on the future. I might reload Apple at 160, but there you go. I had the short, and there is my stop, and there is my out. Going to take the shot and run. This is that time of day as well where I don't want to get wrapped up making a mess. NVIDIA, we had the scalp trade off of 880. I'll look to see if that can happen again down off of VWAP. I think either that's next or Apple at 170 is going to be next. I'm on the offer of, I don't want to leave NVIDIA here. We only have a couple minutes left. But yeah, Apple coming back into the 170 level has been a good short. That's my offer sitting out in front of it. Apple looking good. Well, I mean, good for shorts, bad for pretty much everything else. You do have to respect it. And there is one other name that we have not talked too much about. Well, we've talked about crypto. But crypto is bounced off, Bitcoin is bounced off 66. Mara, unfortunately for those that are interested in it, I guess it's fortunate, I suppose, now. It's back above VWAP. That $23 level on Mara, check it out today. Look at the bounce off VWAP, 22.98. Bounce off VWAP, 22.93. Now the high is 23 even. That's starting to look like a flat top break on Mara. The problem is you're not exactly screaming to the upside on BTC to give you the juice to get through that $23 level. Maybe worth a scalp trade, scalping the 90s down into 22.70 and take 25, 30 cents. Because somebody's selling this thing at 23. That's pretty clear.
ARM got all the way back to 138. I know you were just looking at that. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not fighting that one when it goes up because 142 was the bigger level.
Yeah, I was just trying to short ARM, actually. Look at Palantir right now. Yeah, I think that's right. I just saw that top right there at 137.50 and was like, that's not horrible. There's a lot of room to the backside there if you can use 137.50, maybe 138 as your stopping position. Could be something there. So we'll wait on it and take a shot right there. Okay, so all is good so far here today. The Dollar Club on Intel. Wow, congratulations. That's a hard thing to get into. Dollar Club on Intel. So congratulations, whoever has that.
Well, yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know, today.
Yesterday it moved like 5%.
Okay, so pitch bull there. Congratulations on that one right now as we go. A Palantir, congrats on that. That's $1 now in the money. Affirm's come back in. AMD, we're not reloading it until it gets up a little bit higher. I'm just trying to review some positions that we have right now for you. That's about it. We did look at Tesla again, and it was funny because when Neil mentioned 175, it was like, what? So that did get into 175. So looks like it wants to get up to the upside from there, but 175 coming in right now. Okay, so now we have some ARM. We got short at 137.30. We do want to trade this up to 138 there for ARM. So let's see if that breaks back above. So right now we're short ARM at 137.30. We're going to give it to 38. But again, the market's pretty heated here. We'll just see if it can fade back into the 50 period, maybe even here 36. So just kind of profile's fine. But again, we're short AMD working out, but not great right now, 50 cents. And we're short ARM flat right now. So my next position for ARM would be up near 137.70 and then use that level into 138. So right now we'll watch out for ARM and we have a good plan of action on it. And right now, ARM just printed 30 cents in the money. So let's see how far down ARM wants to go. Let's put a bid at the 200 period at 136.50.
Well, the market is starting to heat up a little bit. Remember, the market is up 0.8%, despite the fact that shorts are pretty much ruling the day, ruling the morning, that is. I did just get into Mara into this 23 level. If someone's selling 23s down into VWAP, then I'll play the pattern as long as it holds up. A little bit late to it. Obviously, you could be a heck of a lot earlier and it would have been much better. Apple's not in the pocket just yet. It's NVIDIA off 880 that I want long, and the market's going without me. Makes me wonder, Meta here, okay, it's wicking VWAP right now, so I like VWAP at this time of day. If you can't tell, pretty much everything I've talked about the last 20 minutes has been something that's trading at VWAP. Yes, Meta just tried to get back above 499 and faded VWAP. That's a setup that I like. This is the first time I looked at Meta. I was looking at some names we got in tomorrow, but I do like this off of this 99. It's already wicked it one time through. You got to keep your ear to the ground here, as we do have some Fed speak, but we're almost at that 18.1 on the Nasdaq, which is a key level.
70 cents.
And when you're underneath the key level, I'm looking short off of that level.
All right, let's just go again, man. Let's spin the money for ARM. I mean, I don't know. Like, we're feeling pretty good today, man, about these trades. So we just took ARM out at 70. Right there. So it went right into VWAP. We're now out of ARM. So we went 30s to 70s. You see what I'm saying? That's another 60-cent banger right there. So that's pretty good for us. We'll just continue to trade here today. And by the way, Palantir is really going now. This is a good one here for Palantir. And it's just been, again, a really, really good day. Something that you guys have liked is when we talk about who's leading. And I'm very proud today to say that it is no longer myself. It is Wayne. Wayne gets the trophy here today. Congrats to Wayne for a big one there. So there we go. Wayne leading the way, and he leads the trainer here. So congrats to Wayne for the #1 spot on the floor. So that's it. Good job, Wayne. And yeah, we are now getting ready to move over. So I don't know, man. Yeah, to the midday. What are you guys talking about?
It's more shorts. More shorts.
Shorting into an active decline.
So not right now.
No.
Because the market's screaming into 18.1. 18.1 is that resistance.
Roblox.
By the way, there was no resistance on Meta at 99, so I'm not going to stand in front of it. I want the short off of that level. Only if it fails underneath and you're not seeing any failure through that 499. You're absolutely blasting to the upside. Apple, though, is getting very close to 170. We will be on that one. But it is time to mosey on over to learn to trade. Shorting. Ooh, that's tricky.
I don't know how to do that.
That's fair.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That right there is your girl Adara, and I'm Sharif. And as per usual, we're going to wait for